from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, CSN Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros begin a brand new homestand of 6 games, 3 against the Rangers, 3 against the Minnesota Twins. Good evening, everybody. The battle for the Silver Boot resumes tonight. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby, along with Julia Morales, to see if the Astros can continue their winning streak. They have beaten the Rangers 5 straight times, Ash.
6-3 overall on the season. The Rangers got the early edge, but the Astros have come storming back, and they've done it with the big bats. That's really been the big difference. 28-14, the run scoring in that most recent 3-game series against the Rangers. And these are the reasons. You get some of the big bats, John Singleton, Chris Carter, swinging it well. Carter had a couple of home runs in one ball game. Of course, he's done that multiple times this year. Even Ravi Grossman, a part of the home run act for the club. But scoring the runs, really a big difference. 14 runs in 3 games for the Rangers. Pretty pedestrian. 28 for the Astros. Exceptional. And you'd love to see them keep that trend going.
Last night in Philadelphia, very disappointing for the Astros as they lost that game 6-5 after leading 5-1. They got swept in the series, but Chris Carter just continues to improve at the plate. He hit a couple more homers in the game last night.
Take Carter back to July 1st, roughly, and he has turned things around enormously. His numbers, 184 leading into that point, the first couple of months of the season. Since then, he has tuned it up to the 315 mark. The slugging percentage just way up there, and the home runs have been coming. Chris Carter has been a house of fire here recently for the Astros, and you look in that Philadelphia series, and he was dynamite. Just continues to swing the big bat, and this is in the absence of George Springer. John Singleton, a part of the lineup, has also been swinging it well, and no doubt helping Carter in this regard. But this bat can go a long way, not only tonight in this series against the Rangers, but for the season and for years to come, you hope, when you look at Chris Carter.
Coming up, give them the boot. So the Astros have pummeled their interstate rival as of late and given Ron Washington a case of the Grumpies. Can Chris Carter and the Astros offense take another giant leap toward the Silver Boot? We'll find out straight ahead. Sportsnet is presented by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by AT&T UVerse TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Coming up, over easy. It's been a bull market for the Astros starting pitching this summer, with a much improved Brett Oberholzer leading the pack in patience and perseverance. Can he continue his season of redemption against the Rangers? His first pitch is straight ahead.
Hello, Jason. Vino.
Back to Minute Maid Park, where the Astros will host the Texas Rangers for a 3-game set, just a couple days on the road. And the Astros find this a very, very important series as they face the Rangers the first time in a while, but they are coming off a sweep of the Rangers. That was the last time they faced them. They've beaten them 5 straight times, and they look to make it 6 straight today. Bo Porter talking before the game. Hey, Orbit. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Orbit, everybody. What's going on, Orbit? Oh, well, okay. I can explain. So, the Philly Fanatic and... Oh, I broke your heart? Orbit, wait. Oh, no. Okay. Well... Don't ever hang with the mascots on the road. That's something I'm going to have to live with. I'm going to have to make that up to Orbit. Let me compose myself. A big series coming up this weekend. See if I can do this. The Texas Rangers here. Bo Porter talking before the game, saying that it's very important that they show some progress over having success over teams like the Texas Rangers. They hope to do that today. Guys up in the booth, Brownie and Ash, I don't know if I can go on. Now my heart's broken. I broke Orbit's heart.
We will explain to Orbit that you were kidnapped, in fact, last night. But here it continues. Lots of stuttering happening, and it's lighting up Twitter. So Orbit will get over it. The Astros take the field on a big and bright Friday night. What do you think of that?
All I can say, Brownie, is I understand Orbit's pain because, I think it's obvious to everybody he was madly in love, and now, well, I'm sure he's still in love. He's just hurting right now. That's all.
We've all been there, and he'll be stronger for this. Brett Oberholzer warms it up now before facing the Texas Rangers. The Astros have a lead of a game and a half over the Rangers in the standings in the AL West. And Oberholzer has really fired it up capably and has won his last 2 starts. The Astros have won his last 4 starts, and he's had quality work in all 4 of those. Shooting for win number 5 of the year tonight. The 25-year-old lefty tunes it up right now. Ron Washington's Rangers had the day off yesterday while the Astros were toiling in Philadelphia. They go with right fielder Shin-Soo Choo, shortstop Elvis Andrus, DH JP Arancibia, third baseman Adrian Beltre, first baseman Adam Rosales, center fielder Leonis Martin, catcher Giovanni Soto returning from the disabled list tonight, Rougned Odor at second base, Daniel Robertson in left field.
I got Brett Oberholzer. You mentioned, Brownie, that he's been able to give the Astros a chance to win their last 4 that he's gone to the mound. That dates back to the Boston Red Sox, July 12th. He has helped the Astros beat the Red Sox, A's twice, and then Toronto Blue Jays. So some very good clubs, and you see the overall numbers: .417 the improving ERA, and a 4-7 mark overall.
He's been in a nice groove, and what he's done so well, Ash, is limit the damage. Sometimes in early innings he might give up a run in the first, but then leave a couple of men on base and get out of that first inning with no more damage. And it's Choo who gets things started. Choo had .238, 10 homers, 36 runs batted in. A very disappointing season after signing a 7-year deal as a free agent over the winter. He takes strike 1 here, but to be fair about it to him, he has played with a left ankle injury much of the season. And he shoots a line drive to left field. That'll be in for a hit in front of Mark Krause. Choo gets things started with a single to left.
Defensively for the Astros, behind Brett Oberholzer here this evening in the outfield left side, Mark Krause. In center, Jake Marisnick and Robbie Grossman in right. In the infield left side, it's Matt Dominguez and Marwin Gonzalez. On the right, Jose Altuve and John Singleton. Jason Castro is your catcher.
Inside in air-conditioned comfort, and it's been a scorcher outside. The clouds are dark out there in the distance, but we don't know if they hold much rain or not. Andrus at .274 has 2 homers. He's driven in 30 hitless against Obi in his career, but 13-game hitting streak right now for Elvis Andrus. And he takes that one for a strike.
One of the things that Obi's done really well, Brownie, just 1 walk in each of the last 2 starts, and just 4 walks over the total of the last 4 starts that he's made. So he's throwing strikes, staying ahead on hitters.
Correction, that first pitch was ball 1. Foul straight back. There's a good cut by Andrus, the talented shortstop with a .274 average, and he has scored 59 runs. Andrus coming off a 2-hit game on Wednesday. During his 13-game hitting streak, he has hit .380. This is his highest batting average since April 22nd. Pushing a bunt. Oberholzer barehanding, throwing, and he got him. Good play. He could not afford a mistake on that one, or Andrus would have beaten it. It's a sacrifice getting Choo to second, 1 out from 1 to 3.
That was a good bunt. And a golden opportunity for Elvis Andrus to beat it out, but for the fine play by Brett Oberholzer. Gets on it with the bare hand and still able to make the accurate throw. And Andrus was doing something a lot of guys don't do. That is that he was running in the baseline. He was not going to get called out on this throw.
Runner at second for JP Arancibia. Choo is that base runner. Arancibia has 7 homers, 26 runs batted in, and a .194 average, but last 10 days he's driven in 11. His batting average was .136 before he heated it up. And the former Toronto Blue Jay takes strike 1. Arancibia was drafted in the first round by the Jays in '07. Texas signed him as a free agent this winter. He has hit 5 of the Rangers' last 9 home runs. 4 homers in his last 12 games. He swings at a down and in pitch, and that makes it 0-2.
That power side is what his game was known to be when he came up as a highly regarded young catcher in the Blue Jays organization. Great power with the bat, and he's starting to flex the muscles once again. See, he's put that right foot right on that inside chalk, back chalk as well. So he's in a position where he's trying to pull the baseball.
It's 1-2. Oberholzer's trying for his first ever win against the Rangers, but he has a career ERA of 2.12 against them in 3 games, 2 as a starter. However, he's 0-2, and he's had that lack of run support going throughout the early stages of his career quite often, unfortunately for him. He breaks that one down and in, and the count is even at 2-2. Obi's gone at least 6 innings in 9 starts in a row now. And he's been up and down between the big league club and AAA Oklahoma City. Began the year in the Astros starting rotation, lost his first 6 decisions. Went to Oklahoma City after his May 6th start, came back May 24th for a couple of starts, back to the minors, 2 starts in the big leagues, back, and now play at second base. Altuve did not go to the base, and he's pointing as if it's his fault for not doing so. He took that throw from behind second.
I think that's a very impressive stat you bring up about the 9 consecutive starts going at least 6 innings. First 7 starts on the year, 0-6. Last 8 he's 4-1. It could be better than that. The ERA 2.5 runs better now over the last 8 starts, and the opponent's batting average reflecting the same direction that Obi's been taking.
Bo Porter has been calling him his 6th starter this year, and that was a part of the depth the Astros felt they had, but now not so much depth after the trade of Jared Cozart to Miami. That's a shot to left field headed for the seats. It is 2-0 Texas. Aaron Sebia bats number 8. That gives him 28 runs batted in. It's only the 8th home run given up by Oberholzer in 91 innings.
You're talking about the way Aaron Sebia has now adjusted in terms of his batting stance. That right foot right to the inside edge of the chalk, so he's as close with the right foot to the plate as he can get, and that leaves, as a hitter, what you do is you spin the hips open, let it fire, and you pull a lot of pitches. Well, it's resulting in home runs for Aaron Sebia.
And there's the most recent one, number 8. On a 2-2 pitch. Now Adrian Beltre comes up. Infield shifts around, playing him to pull. Beltre takes it, and it's ball 1 to the 4-time All-Star. At 319, he's in the batting race in the American League. He has 16 homers. He's driven in 61. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to the 35-year-old third baseman from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He's had some monster RBI years. Drove in 121 with the Dodgers, hitting 48 homers in 04. And that matched with a .334 average. 2 balls and a strike, and he seems to be on a Hall of Fame type path for a third baseman. 2,548 hits, third on the active list behind Jeter and Ichiro, and he's getting close to 400 homers now. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's funny how little you hear the name Adrian Beltre if you're not a big-time Major League Baseball fan. But this guy is he's a huge performer, no doubt, and has been, as you say, for a long time.
Swings at that one, and he's down on strikes. 2 outs.
Right on the hands and up a bit. And Obi got the call on the previous pitch up in the strike zone. Maybe starts this one in that same area to get the bat started.
Adam Rosales is the first baseman tonight. Rosales has filled in capably, hitting .324 with 3 homers, 9 runs batted in, 4 for his last 9.
Look at that OPS over 1,000.
Fouls that one back. Strike 1. Rosales came up with the Cincinnati Reds. He was a shortstop, played some second. Now has moved to first for this Ranger club, and he had his first career 2-home run game on Wednesday against the White Sox on the road. Rosales not chasing there, and it's a 1-ball 1-strike count on him with Leonis Martin on deck.
Got the throwback style, does Rosales, with the pants up near the knees and a lot of socks showing.
That's a good pitch, in for a strike, making it 1-2. David Rackley is the home plate umpire. Adam Rosales, 31 years old, was drafted by the Reds in the 12th round in 2005. They dealt him to Oakland. Texas claimed him on waivers last August. And the flares one over first base near the right field line. That'll loop in for a hit in front of Robbie Grossman. Hit number 3 of the inning for the Rangers.
I don't know if this is who Adam Rosales has turned into offensively, a guy that can flare it down the right field side, but that sure pays big dividends. Pitch trying to get in on the hands, and Rosales just fights it off.
Now the Rangers come out and they strike to a 2-0 lead so far, looking for more with Martin. Martin is a good bunter. He looks at ball 1. 256, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in for Martin. The Rangers began their road trip in Cleveland, where they were swept by the Tribe, then moved along to Chicago. They won 2 of 3 from the White Sox and had an off day yesterday. Fouled away, and it's a 1-ball 1-strike count. Over the years, they have excelled here at Minute Maid Park like no other team, with a 31-18 record, a .633 winning percentage in this venue. Ron Washington has gone to 13 different starting pitchers this season. These two teams last played in Texas July 7th, 8th, and 9th. Fly ball out to center field. Marisnik backing, still going back, and onto the warning track for a long out, number 3. The Rangers get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man. It was Aaron Sevilla hitting his 8th. Now, can Chris Carter answer in the bottom of the 1st with Miles Michaelis headed for the mound next? Up with this starting lineup against Miles Michaelis. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jose Altuve at second base. Jason Castro batting second. He's the catcher. The DH is Chris Carter. It's Mark Krause in left field. John Singleton first base. Matt Dominguez third base. Robbie Grossman right field. Jake Marisnik center field. Marwin Gonzalez shortstop.
On the mound for these Texas Rangers, 25-year-old right-hander Miles Michaelis. He's from Jupiter, Florida. 1-4 on the year with a 7.29 ERA. And he's lost his last couple of starts Those coming at Cleveland, and one against the Oakland A's.
Well, in that loss at Cleveland, he really did fine work. 7 innings of 5-hit, 2-run baseball, losing it 2-0. Nothing to be ashamed about there, actually.
Now, I'm sure he is dying to turn these numbers around with that ERA up over 7. And then you get those nicely pitched outings, couple of runs in 7 innings, and still wind up losing. It's tough when you're playing with a poor club.
Jose Altuve now begins the night sharing the batting lead with Robinson Cano in the American League at .335. Last night before the games there was a 6-point lead for Altuve, but Cano had a big game and Altuve went 0 for 4. The Phillies snapped Altuve's 18-game on-base streak. And with 158 hits, he leads the American League after taking ball 1. Ready now. Grounding this one foul. Matt Listash with the play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Altuve, really outstanding this year. Is going to be fighting it out, it appears, with Cano and some others for that, what could be the first ever batting title by an Astro. He's hit .350 against Texas pitching. Lashes this one off. Beltre down on a knee. That ball was blistered for out number 1.
Jose Altuve has been even a bit better at home this year than on the road, and he just gets all of this one. This guy's a slick fielding third baseman, but this ball almost got him in the chest, hooking right at the chest.
Well, that's the way the Astros swung the bats against Michaelis when they faced him in Texas. They really lit him up. That was July 7th. He gave up 12 hits and 9 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. Houston won the game 12-7. Jason Castro's next up. Michaelis missing. There's ball 1 to a .234 hitting Castro with 11 homers, 43 runs batted in. 3 homers the last 10 games for Jason. Last night while batting second in Philadelphia, he had 2 hits and a walk and scored twice. When he is the number 2 hitter, he's hit .341 in 10 games. That's out of play, and it's a 1 ball 1 strike count to Jason Castro. Michaelis reached up into the high 90s. Steve Busby, the Rangers TV play-by-play guy, was telling us before the game tonight.
Specifically 97. That's impressive stuff. And I would have to say we didn't see that type of arm when he faced the Astros in Arlington.
It's 2-1. Odor, the second baseman, way out into right field with the shift on. Rosales guarding the line at first base. There's the way they line up.
That last pitch, though, right at 95, so obviously he's got a big arm.
He's done better against left-handed hitters. That is a strike. It's 2-2.
A little change piece on the 2-1. And you could see Castro jumping, looking for the fastball.
The Rangers didn't get much of a look this spring at Miles Michaelis, who's 26 years old. He had an elbow problem. Made 6 starts at AAA. Round robin. Now it's a full count to Jason Castro. Michaelis had been a relief pitcher until this year. It looks as if he's trying for that breakthrough impression to be a starting pitcher for the future.
And yet works from the stretch. Yu Darvish does that for the Rangers.
There's a walk to Castro.
Defensively for the Rangers, behind Michaelis, Daniel Robertson in left, Leonis Martin in center, and in right field Shin-Soo Choo. On the infield left side, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus at short. On the right, Rougned Odor and Adam Rosales. And behind the plate, Giovanni Soto just back in action.
This is the first of a 3-game series here. Chris Carter has really lit it up since the 1st of July. With 24 homers, 57 runs batted in, he leads the club. He's hitting .225 now. He's driven in 27 since July 1st. Chops this one in the air. It's a foul ball. Carter with a 2-home-run game at Arlington, Texas, has hit .324 this season against the Rangers. He's now had 5 multi-home run games this season. He did it again last night with the 2 bombs in Philadelphia. Had a pair of 2-run shots and a single, going 3 for 4. That was the 8th career multi-home run game for Chris. He chases that one. It's 0-2, and we've seen a more disciplined Chris Carter the last 5 weeks, who has not been chasing those pitches so often. He's hit 11 homers to lead the majors since July 1st.
Yeah, that last slider that he swung at way off the outside edge is quite a rarity these days for Chris.
Soto will file that one away. Not chasing this time, and it's a 1-ball 2-strike count for Carter. Carter went 1 for 2 against Michaelis when they met in Texas. Chris, since July 1st, has a 1,055 OPS.
That type of a figure maintained over the course of a season, you just might be named the MVP when it's all said and done.
Well, he's really shown a much better side of Chris Carter than we have seen last year in this. Since the 1st of July, tightened up that swing. He's become more selective. Ball's jumping off his bat. 1-2. Hitting coach John Maley has said that Chris is in a very nice work routine before games. He has his preparation, stays in that type of habit, and the results have been fantastic.
Yeah, in fact, he said to me yesterday that Chris has worked his tail off, and it's starting to pay off. But what everybody down there is seeing is that Chris is just simply shorter with that barrel directly to the ball.
Castro draws the throw. Well, without the injured Astros in the lineup, and Dexter Fowler, by the way, is in the lineup tonight in a rehab stint at Oklahoma City as the DH. George Springer is here and had an exam today on that quad. Carter's the number 3 hitter. And a late swing there is a strikeout. That's out number 2.
That's one of those strikeouts. Can happen to anybody at any time. A breaking ball that at the last instant you assess might break back to the strike zone, and just a flick at it swing, maybe trying to foul it.
Mark Krause was 2 for 5 with a homer in the Philadelphia series, getting the cleanup call again tonight in left field. 192 for Mark. 6 homers, 19 runs batted in. As the cleanup man last night, he hit a first-inning homer and later drew a walk and grounded into 2 double plays as well. He looks at it, and it's strike 1. Michaelis was drafted by San Diego in the 7th round in 2009. You mentioned Ash. He's from Jupiter, Florida. He went to Nova Southeastern University, and that's the school of J.D. Martinez. And also Mike Fiers, who has pitched in the big leagues for Milwaukee. It's 1-1. When Michaelis faced the Astros and Jared Kozart in Arlington, Texas, July 7th, he gave up 6 runs in the 2nd inning on 6 straight hits. We're still trying to feel his way, and with that 1-4 record, a 7.29 ERA for 6 starts, looking for the 2 runs of support early in this game to try to parlay that into his 2nd win. That's a strike on the curve, and it's 1-2.
Mark Krause played a little long ball last night in Philadelphia. He got a lot of this ball. Big, strong guy. And when you see him, you feel like this needs to be a part of what he does offensively.
He takes the breaker again, and it's a 2-ball 2-strike count. Michaelis is one of 13 different starting pitchers used by the Rangers this year. They have been hit and hit hard with injuries. They've tied a club record with a total of 33 pitchers used by Ron Washington. The Major League record is 37. The American League record 34. Odor plays it to his left. On over to Rosales. And it's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 2-0 Texas after 1.
And time for our Geico quote of the day. It's talking about Brett Overholtzer. Bo Porter saying he's gained so much confidence in his secondary pitches. I think that's the biggest maturation I've seen over the last 2 or 3 starts. He's learned how to be a winning pitcher at the major league level. You see this at bat against Jose Bautista in his last win. And after falling behind 3-0, he came back and he gets him 2 straight changeups, throws him for strikes too, gets him on that last one right there to pop up. And that's where you see Brett Overholtzer's confidence. Bo Porter saying before he might not have thrown that pitch in that particular count, but that's been the biggest difference, and he hopes to see that moving forward, guys.
Thanks, Julia. 2-0 Rangers. Giovanni Soto with a ground ball to third. 1 pitch, 1 out. Soto just returning from the disabled list tonight. And with that move, right-handed pitcher Jerome Williams, the former Astro, has been designated for assignment to get Soto onto the active roster tonight.
Things didn't go all that well for Jerome in a couple of starts. 9.90 ERA. Did pick up a win for the Rangers, but the numbers were not pretty when it was all said and done.
Rougned Odor, 253, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Has a 294 on base average. 20-year-old second baseman from Venezuela. They strike 1 to him. He played at Class A Myrtle Beach and Double A Frisco last season and was rushed to the big leagues this year because of injuries. Overholtzer throws a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Odor has acquitted himself pretty well.
Odor may not see a better fastball to hit than that last one. He could go all season long and not see one better.
1-2. Daniel Robertson on deck. Odor, first player under age 21 with a 4-hit game and 2 triples since Rogers Hornsby. He fouls it away. So at that tender age, after signing as a free agent in 2011, Odor indeed is getting this rare opportunity to play every day in the big leagues. He's hit .206 against lefties. Came up from Double A May 8th. Fly ball. Marisnik backing in left center field. 2 outs for Obi. This pattern has been something that Obi has had in several of his starts. Give up a run or 2 early and settle down.
Aaron Sebia, who hit that 2-run home run in the first inning, a hot hitter here recently, especially with the long ball. If you make a mistake on a guy that's hot like that, you likely will pay a price.
Daniel Robertson has hit lefties well. 292, no homers, 13 runs batted in for Robertson. And he has been a fixture in that lineup against Southpaws. 28 years old, from Fontana, California, and Oregon State. showing bunt. He takes a strike. He's been pretty impressive to those who have watched him play all year. Texas got him in a trade this May from the Padres. Played against the Astros July 7th in Texas, going 0 for 4. He played with a fractured left cheekbone earlier this year. He had a collision with Alex Rios in the outfield and had a plastic mask over that cheekbone to protect it as he played. Kind of reminds us of Art Howe, who's back in the studio tonight. Many years ago, he played with that football helmet type gizmo with the plastic face mask. You remember that, Ash?
Yeah, fortunately I've never had to wear one, but yeah, Artie had a very rough go with that beaning in Montreal at the Olympic Stadium. One of those shady afternoons, and well, that was just one of the rough moments as a teammate that I've ever had.
Tapped to shortstop, charged by Marlon Gonzalez. It's a 1-2-3 second for Oberholzer. 2-0 Rangers.
Time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That is brought to you by AT&T. Reminiscent on from last night here with Philly, Fanatic, and Corby. It was a lot of fun, very entertaining. Then he whisked me away, took me off my feet, and almost hurled me off the back of that ATV. But that got me into some trouble, guys.
Well, he's got to be in your rear view mirror now, Julia.
Yeah.
It's over.
It has to be.
John Singleton at 187 takes ball one. With 10 homers, 32 runs batted in. John hoping to get something started. He had a big series against the Rangers in Arlington, Texas, going 6 for 12 with a homer, driving in 5. And had a homer and 3 runs batted in against Michaelis there. It's 2-0. Interesting to see John playing in Philadelphia the previous 3 games with Ryan Howard as the first baseman. And John, of course, the first baseman who came up in the Phillies system before being obtained by the Astros in that big trade for Hunter Pence. It's 2-1. So I asked him before the game, well, did you ever hear any comparisons between you and Ryan Howard as you came up through the Phillies system? He said, yeah, I heard a few.
Yeah, both big, strong, left-hand hitting first basemen, and guys that I would imagine that the thought has been you build the offense around a guy like this.
That's a strike, and it's 2-2. And of course, Howard had a big series against the Astros. He drove in 8 runs. He handles that pitch away from him exceptionally well. And we've seen John hit some balls to left field in this ballpark. 4 home runs. There's a strikeout for Michaelis. That's number 2 of the night for him.
Up to 96 on that heat. Julia's been through a lot here this evening.
I was going to say, we're reliving this. This is really sad to watch.
So I have a feeling you might relive this beyond this evening.
I know. Orbit's very upset with me. I'm going to have to come up with a way to win him back. I've taken to Twitter. I've asked for some advice. I got to get him back.
Maybe a letter to Dear Abby. Matt Dominguez with strike 1. Matt at 230 has 13 homers, 47 runs batted in.
Is she still responsive?
I don't think so. No, I think that's not happening anymore. But there are others who will give advice. Robbie Grossman is on deck. No balls, 2 strikes on the foul tip as Domingo tries to get something working on Michaelis. Michaelis has allowed 40 hits in 34 1/3 innings.
Surprising. We're looking at his stuff. He's been up to 97 this evening, steadily at 95. Very good arm.
In the air, and here's the center fielder, Martin, for out number 2. A reminder now, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. 2 outs, then it's Robbie Grossman. Robbie had 190, has 4 homers, 21 runs batted in. Grossman went 1 for 9 in the Philadelphia series. Third baseman Beltre off the line and just at the edge of the grass. Second baseman Odor has crept in a few steps. And there's ball 1. Happy 39th wedding anniversary to Tom and Kathy Hughes, watching in Virginia tonight. 39 blissful years.
That could be the outcome for Julia and Orbit. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You are really out there with that one. That's a shot, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, we're seeing a different side of Orbit tonight. Never had him pegged as an emotional guy, did you?
It's jealousy. It's not a pretty trait.
Well, I feel awful.
Well, that's okay. It'll work itself out, Julia. There is going to be a counselor up here after the game if you want to come up. We'll take care of it. 1-2 the count. By the way, Dexter Fowler got his first hit tonight, first time up for Oklahoma City as he's DHing. And the plan is to build him up to playing 9 innings in the field. He's going to start playing in the field tomorrow night if things go well tonight, as he tries to return to the Astros quickly. He's been out more than a month now with that strained oblique. And Alex Presley is doing more and more activities on the field. From what we hear, he's getting close to going out on an injury rehab assignment. And with George Springer, if the workout goes well pregame tomorrow, he could be activated very soon. Georgia really did not like the inactivity at all. He played 3 games on his minor league rehab assignment, then came out with some tightness in his left quad. So the Astros wanted to rest that a little bit. Take a look at him today. The pitch is ball 2. It's 2-2. August 27th is social media night. You can get a ticket to sit out in the Budweiser patio in center field. It's a $50 ticket, and you also get an exclusive T-shirt made up just for that night. $15 of preloaded value on your ticket, and some pregame entertainment. You will be visited by pitcher Colin McHugh and Orbit. That's August 27th, social media night. Right out there in the Budweiser patio. Slicing fly ball left field line, and this one will go foul. Robertson came over, but that guy wound up with a baseball.
What does one do on social media night? Do you sit and tweet with each other, text each other, never talk, because that would kind of go beyond the social media portion?
That's it. You get everybody out in that area and you just text. There are no conversations allowed at social media night. No, just kidding. No, it's very. It probably should be called sociable media night. Very good time. 3-2. And Colin McHugh has consented to come out, and in the past Bud Norris did it. Some other players have gone out there and get a picture taken with him, get an autograph. There'll be some prizes. So some good things in store on social media night, August 27th. That is a 2-out walk for Robbie Grossman. That's what he's been doing. He has walked 36 times this season, and just intermingling a lot of those bases on balls as a part of the Astros attack. Now that he's been in the lineup on a steady basis, he is third on the club in walks, and his walk rate of 15.5% is fifth in the majors.
Well, he takes a lot of pitches to get to that position.
Well, he's been back from Oklahoma City for a month, and he has a .376 on base average in that month.
That's very good.
Jake Marisnick bats now. There's ball one. Jake at 130 has no homers, 2 runs batted in. With the Astros, he's had 23 at bats. He had 48 more in the National League with Miami. We were just hearing before the game today that Kike Hernandez has been sent down to AAA by the Marlins. Ash.
Really caught me by surprise, although the part that isn't surprising, and I may have asked the question on the air back when Kike was initially traded, what do the Marlins do with him? Their outfield is loaded with guys they want to play for the time being. They're filled at shortstop and second base, and those are the positions that Kike plays.
Now Ron Washington is striding to the mound instead of pitching coach Mike Maddox. What do you suppose Wash might be saying?
Well, I wonder if this is about, look, we've talked about it, and I think you've got a really good arm, young man. And I want to see you succeed here. We need you. But you've got to be able to stay in the strike zone and not be walking guys, especially with 2 outs and starting potential rallies. We need you to stay focused in the strike zone and utilize that big arm you've been blessed with.
Yeah, he got the first 2 outs and then walked Grossman. Now he's fallen behind Marisnick 2-0. He has not walked a leadoff man in an inning since he started these games for the Rangers. This is his 7th start. Foul back, 2-1. Michaelis has an ERA in the road of 3.20. Rangers starting pitchers have an ERA of 5.04. So there have been some trips to the mound this year. And the throw goes over to first. Marlon Gonzalez is on deck. The Astros did not have batting practice on the field before the game tonight. The Rangers hit. Rangers had a day off yesterday. The Astros players probably got to bed 3, 4 in the morning. So the skipper wanted to give them some rest. Foul back. 2-2. Now they'll be home for a week. 3 with the Rangers through Sunday afternoon, and then 3 with the Twins. There's a Wednesday afternoon finale to the homestand before the Astros head east. They're on a 3-city road trip. Boston, New York, off day in New York, Ash, and then Cleveland.
I've heard some talk of possible golf. I don't know if that's going to happen. Without you there to lead us, a lot of things like that just kind of fall by the wayside.
Runner going. It's rolled behind him into right field. Robbie Grossman heads for third base. And the Astros have something working with 2 outs. They get the first hit. Marisnik hits the grounder behind Grossman, who had taken off on the 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, I don't believe that on a 2-2 this was by design. Marisnik trying to find that vacated spot on the right side. I think it just happened. And a slowly hit ball finds right field.
Odor was way over at second base. Marisnik with the ground ball hit. It's first and third now for Marlon Gonzalez. How about a Broadway play, Ash, on that day off?
That would be nice.
266 for Marlon.
Have to catch some recommendation from you.
Grease is pretty good.
Grease is the word I've heard.
In tight. There's ball 1. 266 hitter, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. Marwin had a hit last night, a bunt single. He now has started 20 of the last 24 games at shortstop. He missed those 4 with a hamstring strain. Look at the season batting average with runners in scoring position, .531 against Michaelis. He's thrown only 3 of 9 first pitch strikes. That's in for a strike to even the count at 1-1. The Astros are hitting .231 as a team with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's actually risen considerably since the early goings this year.
In tight again, almost did hit him. So the bases are loaded now as that pitch glanced off his jersey apparently. And Jose Altuve gets a bases loaded at bat.
Marlon didn't act like a guy who thought he was hit by this pitch. Now, I don't know if Marlon's just feeling that frisky as a hitter and wanted to stay there, but I'm not sure that got him.
No evidence there that it did.
No, I would say that's clear sailing for the jersey and body.
What was that? Giovanni Soto went out. Now here comes Ron Washington out to the home plate umpire after that hit batter call. And the replay didn't seem to indicate that that one hit him. But now the second base umpire and crew chief Dana DeMuth is going to be called over to take a look at that with the crew in New York to make the decision.
I don't know if this falls in that category of the evidence is not clear and conclusive, but I would have said, nah, stay here and get yourself a swing.
Is it your experience that when the home plate umpire makes that call, it's usually based on hearing a sound?
Yes. Yeah, either that or maybe he thought he saw the jersey start to flutter at that point. But the effort to get out of the way of the pitch might have done some of that on its own. Usually, like you say, at the plate, foul tips, that sort of thing, that sound. Do you hear that extra sound involved? And I would imagine that could have come into play here. But what will sometimes also happen is when a catcher catches a ball, he doesn't catch it clean in the pocket. It might hit part of the thumb or some part, and it makes the extra little sound, and that can get confusing. I just don't see this ball hitting any part of the jersey. I'm trying to remember on the hit by pitch if that's one that the manager can actually question, or did this become one of the umpire's discretionary checks?
We're going to look up the paperwork on that because this is the first one of these we can remember having this year. Wash did come out, and that doesn't mean it's a manager's challenge. But it probably would be a decent spot for a manager's challenge if it is one, considering the outcome of the situation. Yes, he's going to confirm that he was hit by the pitch. So Marwin is on, and the bases are loaded, and Jose Altuve will get this at bat. Altuve smacked a line drive. It was caught by the third baseman Beltre.
Yeah, I'm curious as to whether Washington lost his ability now to ask for another replay, but I don't know how they came to this conclusion.
Big opportunity here for Altuve with the Astros down 2-0 in the second. And he looks at it. It is strike one call. .34 runs batted in for Jose. It's 1-1 now with the control issues here. Michaelis has walked 2 in this game, hit a batter, and is at 1-1 on Altuve. Hit batter was his second of the season. And he's at 45 pitches. High drive center field. Martin with the grab. No runs a hit, 3 men left after 2-0 Rangers.
Third. Big day tomorrow. Make sure you come out to Minute Maid Park when the Astros face off against the Rangers at 6:10. Arrive early. 10,000 fans will receive an Astros cowboy hat presented by Xfinity. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Now, what am I going to wear to match the cowboy hat? That is the question.
Oh, you have some boots. We've seen them.
Boots.
Did you get your coffee mug boot tonight?
Not yet.
All right.
But how cool are those?
Yeah, it's coffee. Well, it's coffee weekend. It's a cowboy weekend. It's anything you want it to be weekend. Astros and Rangers, silver boot. Rangers have won the last 7 silver boots. Now as they come up here in the third inning, it's Chu batting. Chu led off the game with a single and scored on the 2-run homer by Aaron Sevilla. And there's strike one to him. Rangers have had the Astros number. In the all-time series, they've won 62 and lost 38. Tap foul, no balls, 2 strikes. This year, it's Houston 6, Texas 3. The Astros 2-1 here at home against the Rangers. This is the first of 10 remaining games between these two teams, with 47 games to go in the season for the Astros, a big portion of their remaining schedule. Chu's down on strikes. That's number 2 for Obi.
He turns to the high heater to get the strikeout. That's the pitch I think Tony Sipp wanted on Ryan Howard last night. He wound up down with that fastball, and Howard crushed it.
One down. Andrews put down the sack bunt in the first inning. Astros have 5 straight victories in head-to-head play with the Rangers. Their longest ever winning streak in this all-time series. The Rangers winning percentage against the Astros, though, is tops in any head-to-head matchup during the time these two teams have played. 1-1. Rangers will be right back here in another couple of weeks. Ground ball knocked down. Dominguez takes his time and gets it. That's classic third base play. Get in front of it, block it, still time to recover.
Also not bad footwork right here at first base by John Singleton as he just kind of dances the feet into foul territory. Yeah, this is the way you do it at third base. Don't panic on the play. Yeah, that's the way you do it at first. Utilize those feet well.
2 outs, and it's Aaron Sebia now. He hit a 2-run homer to left in the first. Of course, Aaron Sebia taking over that position at DH. He's played some first as well, though. He had been a catcher, but first base has been a black hole ever since Prince Fielder went out for the season. The Rangers have looked at a number of different players there. 2 balls, no strikes. The Rangers are back here August 28th through 31st, and the Astros are at Arlington, Texas, September 22nd through 24th. Out to center field, Marisnik backing to make it a 1-2-3 third, and that is 7 straight retired by Brett Oberholzer. 2-0 Rangers.
Ready to deuce? .com. That's where you can check out stats like hitters and pitchers, the matchups, everything you need to know beyond the box score. And you can also vote for the player of the game. Your top choice gets shown on TV afterwards on Astros Postgame Live. Okay, Chris Carter, he's been on fire since July 1st to the point where he's actually hitting better than Jose Altuve. That's right, Carter's batting .315 since July 1st, Altuve at .311, and Carter's leading the majors in home runs and slugging percentage. Our Twitter question is, how much has Chris Carter helped to carry the Astros in the last month or so? Tweet me at HoChenCSN and please explain yourself, because if you think about it, Carter, with this team, without George Springer and Dexter Fowler, he's really helped a lot. So tweet me at HoChenCSN. I read the best tweets on TV. Guys?
Thanks, Howard. Good to have you back this weekend. By the way, Dexter Fowler got another single in his rehab assignment. He's 2 for 2 tonight for Oklahoma City. Now Jason Castro gets it going in the home third inning. He drew a walk in the first. Been checking on that hit batsman on the manager's challenge. And there's the call at third base on a swing. Tony Randazzo ruled that Castro went around, strike one. So when Marwin Gonzalez was hit by the pitch last inning, Ron Washington initiated a manager's challenge, and that's going to be his only challenge of the night because he lost it. Because the crew in New York upheld the call on the field that Marlin was hit by the pitch. In other words, no clear and convincing evidence to overturn it. 0-2. So that is one of the challengeable calls by a manager. And it's the Boot said the 4th most common call challenge this year. Hit batter. That's kind of surprising, isn't it?
Force plays number 1. Tag plays number 2. What was number 3 on that list? The home run.
Home run. And hit batter.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Shift is on for Castro. That is a ball and makes it 1-2. Force play accounts for 43% of the challenges. Tag play 31%. Home run 7.6%. Oh, number 4 is fair or foul called. Number 5 is hit by pitch. Hit by pitch is 3%. It's 2-2. The Orioles are bombing the Cardinals 12-0 in the bottom of the 6th at Camden Yards.
Those Orioles are going to bomb a few people on the way to the finish line this year. That offense is starting to come together.
That is out of play. Well, tonight they have 2 homers from J.J. Hardy, giving him 6. Adam Jones hit his 22nd. Chris Davis, number 20. John Flaherty, number 5, and Manny Machado, number 12. If Machado gets it going,
yeah,
they have a different ingredient there than they've had.
And Chris Davis has hit some home runs. He hasn't done much overall with the bat, so yeah, they've still got room for improvement.
And they began the night with a 5-game lead on both the Yankees and Toronto. In the AL East. There's a shot to right field. Chu with the grab. At Lowe's, we never stop improving, and neither does Chris Carter. As Howard was mentioning, tremendous improvement since July 1st for Chris Carter. He is just shortening his strike zone. He's bashing the ball, getting tremendous results for the last 5 weeks. We went back and compared who else has done this. Dan Uggla in 2011 hit 178 from April through June, and then lit it up 316 with a 628 slug from July through August. Aramis Ramirez 179 April through June. He turned it around with a 307 batting average, 580 slugging, 587 slugging percentage from July through August. And so Carter's on that same type path right now. Pretty rare.
Well, the most surprising stat there for me was Dan Uggla. Not that he hit below 200 for a couple of months, but that he hit above 300 for a couple of months that followed. A guy that has had his struggles with the batting average.
Been released a couple of times this year. No balls and 2 strikes. So the Orioles really ripping into the St. Louis Cardinals 12-0. And they are 65-49, looking good in the AL East. Meanwhile, St. Louis is in a dogfight, 1 game behind Milwaukee in the NL Central. And a strikeout of Carter is number 3 of the night from Michaelis.
Just when we're really taking note of what Chris Carter's been doing, he suddenly has a night with a couple of strikeouts. But first one I thought was kind of that rarity, that curveball that looks like it might find the strike zone. This one a little better slider.
Now with 2 outs, it's Mark Krause. Krause grounded out in the first inning. Somebody's going to say you jinxed Carter by doing that.
I beg that we not do all that discussion. It was you, Brownie, that decided to take us in that direction.
That's true. You did beg and plead about that. There's ball 1.
Yeah, we are all powerful.
Justin Masterson was the Cardinal starting pitcher tonight. He gave up 5 earned runs in 2 innings. It's Chris Tillman shutting out the Redbirds for Baltimore through 6. Well, we jinx guys when they have no hitters going.
And that just should never take place. I mean, we don't want the viewers to know there's a no-hitter going on.
What if we put it up on the screen and don't mention it? Is that jinxing?
In the electronic world.
2-1. If you're flipping the channels watching a game, do you want to be told that a guy has a no-hitter?
Oh, I absolutely do. You bet. That's tune-in time. Hey, you know what? You've got a point there about putting it on the screen. You could say it 20 times over a couple of innings, and you may not catch that moment that somebody jumps on, but that visual, it's a no-hitter. It's kind of like it's a girl. Not going to miss that one.
A beautiful sky out there. Backhanded. Elvis Andrus makes it a 1-2-3 third for Miles Michaelis. And after 3 on this beautiful looking night, it's 2-0 Rangers.
The 4th inning, rather. RBI Baseball is back with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the retro 2-button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device.
Orbit is carrying right on. It's 2-0. Rangers lead it. Oberholzer throws. There's strike 1 to Adrian Beltre. Beltre struck out in the first. Orbit and Julia estranged for the moment, but they'll get back together.
Love is in the air.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Are bribes a part of what love is all about?
They can be.
That's what I'm hearing that Orbit is turning to.
1-2. Well, you know, it was very innocent. She was asked for a ride on the Fanatics ATV. What are you going to do? What's a girl to do?
Candy.
Line drive to left. That's in for a hit coming over Krause. Beltre with the turn. And he'll go back to first base with the leadoff single.
Am I getting bribed? No, I need to make up to Orbit.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
he doesn't
on
need
you.
to give me anything. No.
What are you thinking? Flowers or what?
So far, maybe a moon pie.
Ah, that's real.
Orbit likes moon pies. Milky
Yes.
Ways.
Yeah.
The
best way to a guy's heart,
Something
right?
with
Or
a
an
space
alien's heart.
theme. You're right. A space theme. That is very smart.
Thanks to Twitter. Dear Abby is now Twitter.
Oh, no.
Brownie.
Oh, no. Adam Rosales cranks one to right field. Robbie Grossman back. Beltre will go to tag at first, and he'll hold it as out number 1 is turned in.
Yeah, I thought your Dear Abby thought was very now, Brownie.
Well, you probably haven't heard of that in at least a couple of decades, so it's time to bring it out again.
So moon pies, that's clever.
Yes, it is. Space theme. Leonis Martin hit a fly ball to center in the first. Well, it's a sensitive time, you know. All these mascots have their rivalries. Their feelings get bruised.
Is there such a thing as a galaxy bar? I'm trying to remember.
No, nothing like that. It's ball 1, Martin. It's you know, quite a rivalry between these mascots.
Mars bar, Brownie.
Oh yeah, Mars bar. But you know, Julia has met most of them by now. How about Mr. Met? She has not met him. That'll happen at the end of the season. That's through the left side. Martin gets a single, and it's picked up by Marisnik behind Krause. First and second one out, and Soto will bat.
Just a little jam job shooting it through the shortstop position with a bit of a shift on. Wow.
Let it go right by him. I'm assuming that Marisnik had called for that ball.
Maybe so, and also smart by Krause if it was of his own choice there, because he was not going to be in a good throwing position.
Giovanni Soto grounded out in the second inning. Now Mr. Met was already here once this year for Orbit's birthday. And when you guys get to New York for the last series of the season, Mr. Met may entertain Julia with a tour of the wonderful auto repair shops across the street.
Oh, it's
Citi
lovely.
Field.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous area, Julia. You'll love it.
I haven't seen that yard yet.
Oh, you're killing me, Brownie.
Oh, you can spend hours over there watching them work on the cars. No balls, 2 strikes.
And if anything goes wrong with your car, you will spend hours over there.
Yes, you will, and it will not be cheap.
I love mascot talk with
Yeah.
Brownie.
Well, and then
This
you
is
got the day off coming in New York.
Yes.
So a play, or what are your plans?
I would like to see a show.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some research, though.
It's 1-2. That's a whole culture, Ash. It's got to be a meal with that show.
I wonder if Orbit's got that day off.
No, Orbit doesn't get days off.
Is he working nonstop?
Yes. Extraterrestrial beings do not need days off.
Now they're just showing Orbit to really get at me right now. But you're making me feel bad for having to watch this.
We're sorry. Orbit, by the way, we just got a news flash. He's going on the road trip, Julia. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I could just see him right now touring Manhattan.
Let's see him get that head through the scanners.
Giovanni Soto has not had many at-bats this year. Started the year on the 60-day disabled list. Will be missing. Goes to a 2-ball 2-strike count. Soto, the former Cub, was to have been the catcher quite a bit of the time for Texas this season. That was the original plan. Didn't work out that way, and that's been the case with so many Rangers. Swings at that one. And Soto is strikeout victim number 3. Rougned Odor is next. Rangers are facing a lefty starter for the 3rd straight game. They beat John Danks and Chris Sale their last 2 games against the White Sox in Chicago. But against lefties, their record is 11-21. That's the worst winning percentage in the majors against lefty starters. 344. Odor hit a fly ball to center earlier.
It's surprising for me. They've got some right-handed thump in that lineup.
They really do. Marisnik backs on this ball, turning for the catch. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Middle of the 4th. Rangers 2, Astros nothing.
Astros, Dynamo, Rockets, and more. We've got all your Houston sports news covered with Sportsnet Central weeknights at 6:10 and midnight only on Comcast Sportsnet. Guys.
Thanks, Julia. Hey, breaking news, Julia. The Nashville Sounds got a late win over the Round Rock Express with 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th in game 1 of a doubleheader on a walk-off homer by Matt Clark, number 5 of the year for Matt Clark.
Never heard of him. No, it's great for Matt Clark.
Yeah.
I believe it was off Robbie Ross.
Oh, yes, you're right. Robbie has been up with the Rangers before, and he went the distance, but took the loss. John Singleton is the batter here. It's 2-0. Miles Michaelis with the lead. He struck out Singleton in the 2nd inning. Popped up foul, and it's going to drop as a foul ball behind the dugout and then kick up about 10 rows further. They're very happy.
Let me see that ball. Oh, it's hard.
Astros right back home after that brief road trip. They're 26-33 here at Minute Maid Park this year. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The Tigers right-hander, Anibal Sanchez, left the game tonight against the Blue Jays in the 5th inning with an apparent injury to his right side.
He's had a tough time staying healthy this year. They need him too.
2 balls and a strike. How about the Yankees winning 3 of 4 from Detroit with those 3 former Cy Young Award winners pitching 3 of those 4 games in that series.
Did the Yankees sound their presence with those wins?
Yeah, they did.
They're still 5 back of the Orioles. The Orioles are starting to run away and hide a bit.
In tight for a ball. 3 balls and a strike to Singleton. Cole Porter's club 47-68. Starting a 6-game homestand after being swept on the road by the Phillies. They have had a rough time against the NL East teams. High to right field. Heading for the wall. Here's Chu. Warning track. 1 out.
This moment in history is presented by M.D. Anderson, making cancer history. 1986, Jose Cruz celebrates his 39th birthday with a 2-run single and reaches the 1,000 career RBI mark in a 5-0 win over the San Diego Padres. My former teammate and one of the best of all time. 1,000 RBIs. That's a very large figure in a career.
Happy birthday, Cheo. Born in 1947, 67 today. John Hudek's birthday today. Jack Castle, Carol Lewis, The Edge, Bo Ellis. Now Matt Dominguez looks at strike one. He hit a fly ball to center.
Big stuff if you're born on the same day as The Edge, aren't you?
Guess so. Checking the Iowa-Oklahoma City box score after 4. Oklahoma City trails 4-3. Dexter Fowler DHing, batting third. He is 2 for 2 in that game with an RBI. No balls, 2 strikes to Matty D. Michaelis has allowed just 1 hit. That was a 2-out single by Jake Marisnick in the 2nd inning. He went 7 innings in his last start, giving up 2 runs. That's in the air, left center field. Robertson back, and the center fielder makes the catch. Martin, 2 outs. Robbie Grossman came up with 2 outs and nobody on, as he is now in the 2nd inning. He drew a walk and then advanced to third on the single by Marisnick. The bases were loaded when Marwin Gonzalez was hit by a pitch, but Michaelis retired Jose Altuve. Now let's see. There's no, he can't do it. Can't bring himself.
He looks forlorn to me.
Reconcile with Julia.
That was a very sad moment.
Yes.
I tried. He's not ready to forgive me yet.
No. It takes time to heal those wounds. That's a line shot to right field. That's in for a hit and maybe extra bases. Yes, it is. Grossman heading for second. Chu gets it back in. A 2-out double for Robbie, his 6th. 2-out rally starter tonight.
Well, that's a rarity. Robbie jumping on that first pitch, and he drives it nicely. Got himself a pitch down and in a bit, and does the left-hander thing on that down and in pitch. And the more and more Robbie can drive baseballs around the ballpark, the more pitchers will fear him, and the walks will start to mount all the more.
Needs a board for Marisnick. Marisnick rolled a single through the right side of the infield earlier. Strike one for Michaelis. Rangers ERA in the 9 games against the Astros this season is 5.08. It's 0-2. Marisnick hit 183 last year for Miami and 109 at bats. Spent much of the year at AA Jacksonville, where he was a 294 hitter. This year he hit 277 at AAA New Orleans before the trade to Houston. One ball, 2 strikes. High to Marisnick, and it's 2-2 to Jake. Oklahoma City belted out a 16-4 win last night. A 3 hits, including a homer and 4 runs batted in by Preston Tucker.
That's an intriguing bat at the AAA level.
Yeah, it is. He's on a pretty good path to be a major leaguer. Throw gets by, but not very far, as Odor jumped a little soon, got his glove on it.
Might be talking a little more about Preston a bit later.
Oh, yeah? You have something all worked up?
Well, he could be part of that minor league report tonight. I don't know.
Oh.
Just kind of surmising what could happen.
Well, he's a compact left-handed hitter with some power. He's moved up from AA to AAA this season. He's somebody to watch. We'll save the rest of it for later on. 3-2.
Got a chance to play here at Minute Maid Park earlier this year and hit a couple of bombs.
Oh, yes, you're right. Hanley Ramirez got hurt tonight for the Dodgers. They lost Josh Beckett last night. Traded for the Phillies Roberto Hernandez to take his spot in the rotation. Beckett may be finished for the year with a hip labrum injury. That's a walk to Marisnik, and now Michael is just really flirting with problems. Has 3 walks and a hit batter tonight.
And now that just mentioned minor league report brought to you by your local Honda dealer, Preston Tucker. Yeah, it's that same guy. Preston Tucker, outfielder, .281 the batting average, 6 bombs since he's joined Oklahoma City, 33 RBIs in his last 5 games, red hot 10 for 22. Now he's a powerful and, like you said, kind of compact outfielder. Swings it from the left side. Intriguing, powerful player.
He is 24 years old. Went to the University of Florida. This is his 3rd year in professional baseball. Marwin Gonzalez, 266, 5 homers, trying to strike a big blow here with the Astros down 2-0. They've been out hit 5-2. He was hit by the pitch in the 2nd. And there's strike 1. And earlier, before he got hit by the pitch, Michaelis threw an inside offering. So apparently the game plan is to crowd Marwin. The Mets are leading at Philadelphia. It's 5-1 in the top of the 9th inning now, behind Bartolo Colon. Travis d'Arnaud hit his 8th home run. A.J. Burnett gave up 11 hits and 5 earned runs in 6 innings for the Phillies. They got a long ball from Marlon Byrd, his 22nd. In tight again to Marlon. 1-1. Well, that Phillies club certainly came to life against the Astros, especially last night. Coming back from a 5-1 deficit. And a grand slam by Ryan Howard to win it 6-5.
Colin McHugh was just shutting the door on him all night long.
He sure was. Rough night for the bullpen last night. It's 1-2. Craig Biggio's back in town. He was talking with Tim Bogar, his former teammate, around the batting cage today. Bogey, the bench coach for the Rangers. Dave Magadan is the hitting coach, former Astro. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, former Astro. Ron Washington played for the Astros. They've got a real former Astro flavor with their manager and coaching staff. Foul back. Michaelis has thrown first pitch strikes the 2nd time through the lineup to 8 of 9. First time through, only 3 of 9 saw first pitch strikes.
It's been a labor nonetheless. It's got the Astros shut out, but really had to work a couple of innings.
80 pitches through 3 2/3. Altuve's on deck. And time is called by the catcher Soto. Michaelis with a high of 7 1/3 innings pitched July 21st against the Yankees. trying to get in enough work to qualify for win number 2 of the year. He is struggling to find that strike zone tonight. He gets a swing, and it's a strikeout. That's number 4. And that douses the Astros' 4th inning with no runs, 1 hit, 2 men stranded after 4 2-0 Rangers.
Last night is a good subject to talk about. He pitched very well, does not get a win out of that effort in Philadelphia. Nonetheless, Colin McHugh was spotting the pitches. He had that slider, the little cutter at times. Over the top curveball was dynamite. Had a good fastball that he sneaks up on hitters, but that bender was quality stuff all night long for Colin. Done a nice job. And then there are the other starters. The last 10 combined starts for these guys. The numbers are good. And when you get that type of pitching out of your starting staff, you hope to start winning some ball games on a more regular basis once again for the team.
Daniel Robertson takes ball 1 leading off the 5th. He grounded out earlier. Well, the Astros used starting pitching to turn around their last homestand after being swept by Miami. It's 2-0 for Oberholzer, who has not walked anybody. He's fanned 3. He's allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. Gave up a 2-run homer to Aaron Sevilla in the 1st inning. And missing there, he falls behind Robertson. 3 balls, no strikes.
Jason Castro thought that was a strike. See him just suddenly stop, pausing before throwing the ball back to the mound, and then a quick turn to the home plate umpire.
Strike 1 makes it 3-1. David Rackley's umpiring behind the plate tonight. Out to center field, Marisnik backing on it. Way back, turning. Oh! Jake Marisnik kept his body under control.
Almost directly away from home plate, running to corral this one. When you have no angle, it gets all the tougher, but watch him go back. He's got a slight angle to start the play, but then it winds up being right over the head, and that's where it gets quite tricky. Tracked it well, though.
What a graceful center fielder. The play shallow. Here's Chu batting now and grounding toward first to Singleton. 2 outs. And Elvis Andrus will follow. Andrus with a sac bunt and a ground out. Coming around for the 3rd time. So who are the 2014 MVP candidates? Acta Sports asking that question today in an article by John DeWan. Is this a pitcher's year to be an MVP? Clayton Kershaw making a strong bid with Troy Tulowitzki leading the National League in batting average, on base average, and slugging percentage, but missing weeks with an injury. And Andrews takes ball one.
You know, in the National League, Giancarlo Stanton with the league lead in home runs and RBIs would be an intriguing candidate, but his Miami Marlins don't look like they're going to get into the postseason. They've got some work to do to get there.
1-1.
Troy Tulowitzki has had injuries and great performance at Coors Field, not so great on the road. He's also currently on the DL.
It's 2-1. Well, in the National League, they list the candidates: Stanton, Jonathan Lucroy, Tulowitzki, Jason Hayward, Andrew McCutchen, Kershaw, Marlon Gonzalez. It's a quick fifth for Obi. 2-0 Rangers. By Slotomania. Play Slotomania and escape anywhere. Text GAME to 555-888 or download for free in your local app store. It's 2-0. The Rangers got a 2-run homer in the first from J.P. Arencibia. Miles Michaelis has struggled. He's walked 3. He's hit a batter, but he's only allowed 2 hits through the first 4. He comes out now with 81 pitches in those first 4 innings, but he's working on a shutout, Ash.
Like I say, it's been quite a labor, but he's held the hits down to those 2 you mentioned. 3 walks, so he's had a few base runners. They've come in a couple of the innings primarily, and so he's really worked his way through those 2. The Astros can mount something here in the 5th.
Jose Altuve ripped a line drive caught by the third baseman Beltre in the first. Hit a fly ball in the second. This one's a pop-up. Beltre over. 1 out for Michaelis. Jason Castro will follow. Jason drew a walk in the first and hit a fly ball to right in the third. Hit it pretty well back in the 3rd inning. Astros have scored 47 runs in 9 games against the Rangers this season, but tonight nothing doing. They have left 6 on base. Left the bases loaded in the second. And left 2 men on the 4th. Well, in the American League, some of these MVP candidates at this point are Mike Trout, Josh Donaldson, Ian Kinsler's having a nice year, Robinson Cano, Kyle Seager, and King Felix. If you want to entertain the thought of a pitcher. There's ball 1.
I have no problem with a pitcher winning it. I guess generally I'd rather see the pitcher win the Cy Young Award, but if he's the guy that kind of led things, then so be it.
Strike, and it's 1-1. Rangers went through a stretch in which they lost 23 of 27. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Of course, they made that big trade with Detroit over the winter, getting Prince Fielder for Ian Kinsler. But now Ron Washington's club, with all these injuries, all the different players he's used, just hoping to get this team healthy for next year and see what spring training brings. Mitch Moreland's on the 60-day DL. Inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yankees 10, Indians 2, bottom of the 6th at Yankee Stadium. And almost got him on the back foot. Carlos Beltran hit his 14th home run for New York. Odor in right field. 2 outs.
Cougar alumni and fans, join us September 2nd for University of Houston night. We'll create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or email groupsales@astros.com.
Well, the Angels are quite a team to watch this year. So that'll be an interesting series when they come in early September. They are currently 3 behind Oakland now. They have a 3-game losing streak. Chris Carter has struck out both times tonight. He takes that one, and it's strike 1 to Chris. Toronto's batting in the bottom of the 8th at home, leading Detroit 4-2. R.A. Dickey pitched well. 1-1. Anibal Sanchez leaving with that injury after 4 2/3 tonight, allowing 10 hits and 3 earned runs for the Tigers. 1-2. They made their big trade. Got David Price. Now they may be losing another of their mainstays in the rotation. Apparently the Phillies and Cubs could not work out a deal on Cole Hamels. It's 2-2. According to reports, the Phillies pulled Hamels back off waivers.
4th best ERA in the National League.
That was kind of intriguing, though. He's owed a lot of money, but the Cubs could pick that up and deal prospects for him. Evidently, they weren't willing to part with their top prospects. Well, not only do they have Javier Baez, who's hit 3 homers in his first 3 major league games, they have Chris Bryant at AAA. They have a bunch of prospects who are very highly regarded in the game. Giants 2, Royals 2, top of the 5th in interleague play at Kansas City. Madison Bumgarner versus Jason Vargas. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Butler hit his 7th home run.
You know, those Kansas City Royals are lurking. They're just 2.5 back of the Tigers.
They're a yo-yoing team this year.
60 and 53. Wouldn't that be something if they found a way to win that division?
Oh. Fly ball high to left field. Let's see if he's got enough on it. Chris Carter puts a bomb. And that is another home run for Carter, number 25. He just keeps going on this home run jag. So 2 more last night. And he hits the 3-2 slider for number 25 of the season. 3rd home run of the year for Chris against the Rangers, and it's 2-1.
I don't think Chris would tell you that he got a lot of this ball, but he's so doggone strong that he still puts it up on the railroad tracks. Watch what he does. Breaking ball kind of right there to hit, and yeah, he hits it on the bat pretty good. I don't know, maybe I just got deceived on the original swing because it looked like just one of those towering pop flies that carried forever. It's kind of what Chris can do with his strength.
Way up there on the tracks. 2-1 game, and it's Mark Krause batting. Fouling it for strike one. Krause 0 for 2. Well, Carter continues to heat it up. Hit 29 homers all of last year.
Big man's really becoming the big man.
12 home runs for Chris to lead the majors since the beginning of July. It's 1-1. Well, there's a 2-out rally. That's the 4th long ball allowed by Miles Michaelis in 38 innings. He gets that one in over the corner for a 1-2 count on Krause. 97 pitches for Michaelis. Rangers do not have anybody up and throwing at the moment. We see some moving around in their bullpen right now. Wouldn't be too surprising if they pull the plug on Michaelis if he's able to get through the 5th. There's Tollison taking a ball right now. That one gets away, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
I wonder what the logic was for somebody when they decided, okay, roughly 100 pitches is what we're going to allot to starting pitchers. Is it just the convenience of that number, or
I think they did some studies on fatigue and injuries and when they were likely to happen, but it's not universal. It applies differently to different pitchers. Fly ball to right. Odor looks out to the right fielder, and lead drops between them. Chu is not there. Chu with a throw to second, and he is safe. Chu just quick coming. Odor looked out at the right fielder, and it dropped between them. So Krause winds up at second base on the Rangers' mistake.
So the rule on this play for major leaguers is the infielder goes after the ball until called off. And Odor stopped a couple of times. He hesitated one time and then kept going and then just completely stopped. Now, should he have been called off? Likely. But again, that rule is stay on it until you're called off. And good for Mark Krause. It's not like he was sprinting the entire way, but he gave himself a chance to get to second.
Well, it's ruled a double. It was not touched. It dropped to the ground, and Krause gets his 5th double of the year. And now a 2-1 ball game with John Singleton batting. He's 0 for 2.
You know, we talked about it last night. The Astros gave the Phillies an extra out. The Astros had to get 4 in an inning, and it came up to just bite Houston as Ryan Howard hit the grand slam. Well, the same scenario right here. John Singleton has the opportunity to take advantage.
He has struck out, and he's fly to right. Ball 1.
Here's that look at the 2 defensive players. Clearly, Chu didn't want any part of this ball from the start. And it appears when it's all said and done, Odor had the same thought. You know, there had been a lot of talk that Chu was a very fine major league outfielder, a right fielder. And yet, when you talk to some of the folks with the Rangers this year, they haven't felt like he has lived up to that reputation.
Sprained an ankle the 3rd week in April. This is only his 6th start in right field. He usually plays left field, but he's DH'd 39 times this year. Even played some center field with Cincinnati last year. He has not been the same guy that he was with the Reds. So a struggling pitcher fails to get a routine play behind him, and now tries to get that final out here, leading 2-1, and get through the fifth. Dominguez on deck. Singleton works the count to 3-1. He takes a lot of close pitches.
You know, this is dial it into one pitch, one zone if you can do that. And we already know John Singleton can get the big rip.
He had a 3-1 count last time up, hit the fly ball to right field. Big cut, 3-2.
Yeah, if you're going to let it fly on that count, the 3-1, let it fly, and that's exactly what John does.
Pitch number 105 coming from Michaelis. Brewers lead the Dodgers 2-1. They're in the top of the seventh at Milwaukee. Flared foul. Beltre over. And in the fifth inning, the 2-out long ball by Carter is 25th. Pulls the Astros to within one. 2-1 Texas through 5.
Astros. Some wild fans at the ballpark tonight. The Astros continue their series against the Rangers this weekend at Minute Maid Park. Each game, one lucky fan will win $5,000 from Slatomania. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Oberholzer back to work here in the sixth, and work in progress for him for a lot of different things. He's been working on a lot, including the curveball. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, saying recently he has to become more than a fastball changeup pitcher, and he definitely needs to get that curveball going. He's been trying to use it a lot more, guys, and it's a work in progress, like I said, but it has taken better shape, as Stromy likes to say, much more effective these days.
Thanks, Julia. JP Arancibia taking ball one. Jose Altuve has been removed from the game. Gregorio Petit is the second baseman. We don't have a reason for that yet. Altuve was 0 for 3. So it's Petit at second. The shift is on for Arancibia. The count reaches 1-1. Oberholzer only at 66 pitches compared to 105 through 5 innings for Michaelis. Arancibia backs away from ball 2, and it's a 2-ball 1-strike count. He hit a 2-run homer in the first. Chris Carter just came up with a solo shot a moment ago. Obi misses outside. That runs the count to 3-1. Obi has made only 2 of his first 15 big league starts this year against teams who currently have losing records. Ground ball, and that's backhanded. Marlon Gonzalez unloads. 1 out.
Good strong throwing arm right there from Marwin Gonzalez. Brett Overholzer has found a way to get better from the 5th inning on in ball games. You can see the first 4 innings, almost a 5 ERA. He shaves that in half in the backside of the ball game. Also, those at bats per home runs really rise. He'll give up the long ball early in the ball game. It only takes 40 at bats for the home run given up early in the game. Over 100 late in the ball game. So maybe Obi just needs to get it loose before everything happens right for him.
Yeah. Ball 1 to Beltre. Beltre single to left in the 4th. Run support, second lowest in the American League, 3.27. Beltre not chasing, works the count to 2-0. In Obi's last 8 major league starts, he's 4-1 with a 3.08 ERA. Jose Altuve left the game with discomfort in his neck. It's 3-0 to Beltre. And you have to assume a green light for him in this type situation. He's cranking. Marisnik back. 1 out or 2 outs. Here's Altuve's last swing of the bat. The neck.
Big swing right there too.
Yeah.
Hurt your neck, staring up toward the ceiling as you watch that one come down. I wonder if he's had something bothering that neck throughout the evening. It certainly is manifesting right there.
Quite possible. 2 outs, and it's Rosales now. Rosales is 1 for 2. What do you think the batting average is on 3-0 counts in the major leagues?
You know, I think it might be lower than you might guess.
Yeah, that's right.
We've mentioned many times that the first pitch is where you find the great batting average and a lot of the home runs. In fact, the most for any one pitch in the sequence. But you should be able to even guess more in the 3-0. But I think a lot of hitters are fearful of that count. Played with a number of guys that would be given the green light. Skip wanted to see him let it fly and take their chances to hit one out, and they were just afraid to swing. There was something that didn't click logically for him.
Some may take too big a swing on 3-0. 1-2.
Every once in a while you find that 3-0 pitch that gets launched, but I'll tell you, the psyche of the major league hitter a lot of times is love to swing at the first pitch, don't love it so much swinging on the 3-0. Hard to explain.
2-2 to Rosales. Mentioned the Brewers lead the Dodgers 2-1. Dodger club certainly a focal team to watch now for a lot of fans. Leading the NL West by 3.5 over the Giants. And Roberto Hernandez is making his Dodger debut and pitching quite well in Milwaukee tonight. Kyle Loesch got the start for the Brewers. And he has pitched just a little bit better. Adrian Gonzalez hit his 16th home run off Loesch. So Milwaukee and Los Angeles, both first place teams, meeting at this stage of August. Things are getting pretty interesting to a lot of fans.
Yeah, the Dodgers come into play today with the best record in the National League. It's kind of snuck up.
It sure has. 569 is the best winning percentage in that league. That's crazy. Foul ball comes back. .30 count. Major league average. 2009 it was .395. 2008 it was .370. 2007 .396. Ash.
That was which category now?
3-0 counts.
Okay. Well, so the batting averages are good.
Yeah.
I would contend that a lot of guys are reluctant to swing on that count. I'd love to see the percentage of times, and there's no way you could figure it out, that guys were given the green light where they actually took the swing.
Right.
But obviously the success rate is great.
Dominguez can't pick it up. No throw from Marlon Gonzalez. That'll be an error on Matt. His 9th of the year. Gonzalez reaching with 2 outs. First error of the game.
Just to the left side, ball kind of stays down a bit for Matt. But I think he would tell you this is rather routine.
Martin is the batter. Martin singled to left last time up. Throw over first. Rosales has not attempted a stolen base this year.
I think any third baseman would take that play any day over that two-hopper that forces your decision in or back.
Yeah. Bunted, and it goes foul. Strike to Martin. Diamondbacks 3, Rockies nothing. Top of the 2nd in Arizona. Miguel Montero hit his 12th home run. Troy Tulowitzki has made some statements recently about the Rockies needing to be contenders again soon.
He's fed up with losing.
Yeah, he's fed up with losing. Rockies fans are probably fed up with him getting hurt every year.
Yeah, that's a great point, because obviously a highly paid player that has great skills, but he spends a lot of time on the DL.
Now, some people think that he's lobbying to be traded to the Yankees so he can succeed Derek Jeter.
That's an enviable position. Maybe not.
Runner takes off on 0-2. Swing and a miss. A strikeout to end the top of the 6th inning. At punch out number 4. And it's no runs, no hits. 1 error, 1 left. Bottom of the 6th coming. 2-1 Rangers.
the Astros half of the 6th inning. Bring the whole family out every Sunday home game right here at Minute Maid Park this year. 4 Family Sundays presented by Kroger and the Astros. Take advantage of the Kroger Family 4-pack for only $70 this Sunday when the Astros take on the Rangers. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com.
Sunday, the 110 finale on this series gives you your next chance to come out on a Family Sunday. Now the bullpen comes in for Ron Washington. Sean Tollison's 2-1. His ERA is 3.31 in 51 2/3 innings. He has struck out 49. 9 home runs allowed, Ash, by Sean Tollison.
He spends half of his time in that spacious but windy and wind blowing out ballpark in Arlington, and a lot of home runs tend to fly out there. At the same time, that can set up your season.
Miles Michaelis in 5 innings allowed the Astros 4 hits, 1 run, walking 3, fanning 4, throwing 105 pitches. Matt Dominguez has flied out twice to center field tonight. Ranger bullpen 14-19 with a 4.43 ERA, and that's ball 1.
When you talk bullpens in the American League, the Rangers are 12th in ERA. The Astros happen to be dead last in that category, the only team over 5 with the ERA. Rangers' biggest problems have been with their starters.
Foul back. It's 1-1 to Matt Dominguez. Tollison's ERA, his last 32 outings, is 2.60. At Cleveland, he came in the 11th inning 5 days ago and escaped a 2-on nobody out jam. In the air, and here's Rosales coming over for it, but he won't have a play. 1-2. The Astros are facing Tollison for the 4th time this season. He has allowed them 1 run in 4 1/3 innings.
Why does this keep happening to Orbit this year? You got to learn at some point, don't you?
He just keeps making these same mistakes over and over again. Gets himself all hung up. Two and two. I think he's worked into a little bit of a state of emotional frenzy over the thing with the Philly fanatic last night.
Yeah, you think this is about Julia, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Three and two. Tollison's 26 years old. The Dodgers drafted him. Orbit makes a lot of appearances when the Astros are on the road. Fastball foul back. Chris Carter and Jimmy Wynn are going to have an appearance coming up. Be a good one for the fans to visit Astros sluggers past and present.
The toy and the large cannon?
Yeah, or the rocket launcher or whatever you want to call him.
That's an honor to be out there with the toy cannon.
It is. Foul back. What's Chris Carter's nickname going to be?
I don't know, but you could turn to that cannon theme.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to have that chat with him.
Right. Sean Tollison went to Baylor University after being born in Dallas. He stayed right here in the state of Texas. Line shot left field headed for the wall. And ricochets back. It's played well. Robertson holds him to a single. Very well played by Robertson. Dominguez line drive off the left field wall.
Elevation, where are you? Matty D gets himself a spinning slider that doesn't slide right through the heart of the plate. That kind of pitch will cause problems for your pitching staff, and the Rangers have had more than their fair share of problems.
Ranger bullpen has 22 saves and 12 blown saves. Robertson came over and held him to a single to keep the double play in order. Robbie Grossman has walked, and he's doubled to right center. Robbie's had a good year against Ranger pitching, 8 for 20 for a .400 average. And the throw goes over to first. Boston is in Anaheim to play the Angels. There's no score in the top of the first inning. Alan Webster going for Boston against Jared Weaver. Beltrade's on the grass at third. Grossman looks at it. It's a strike to Robbie. Robbie among those who's benefited from this additional playing time with the injuries. George Springer normally would be the right fielder. Robbie's played a lot of right field while George has been out. Dexter Fowler's been out. Alex Presley's been out. So the Astros have had a look at 3 different players during this period of time of a few weeks. It's 1-1. And usually, you know, Robbie's been in and out of the lineup. He's been up and down between AAA and the majors the last couple of years. Sometimes it's tough for a player in Robbie's shoes to get a feel for settling into the lineup and relaxing. But as he's done that, he's reached base more and more often. It's 2 balls and a strike. Maley, Bo Porter, hoping the Astros could grab a lead here in the 6th inning. They have trailed since the 2-run homer in the 1st inning by Aaron Sebia. Marisnick on deck. There's a shot into right field. Dominguez to second. True comes up with it. Back-to-back singles. Grossman is on for the 3rd straight time tonight.
Yeah, Robbie's starting to find that hack. Last year, better from the right side. This year, definitely better from the left side. Really drops that barrel at the ball. And that's a good thing. That's a great way to utilize the entire field. The ball hits the top side of the bat, it goes to left field. If it hits the bottom side, it goes to right field.
Jake Marisnick will bat with runners at first and second, nobody out. Will he bunt? The Rangers have the corner infielders in on the grass. He singled to right and he walked the first 2 times up. Marwin Gonzalez, the number 9 hitters on deck. There's signs of a bunt, and there's ball 1 to Marisnick. He does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. Six hits for the Astros, 5 for the Rangers at this point of the game. It's 1-1. Twins and Athletics are scoreless. They're in the top of the 2nd inning in Oakland. Kyle Gibson going for Minnesota against Scott Kazmir.
That 1-0 fastball, 4-seamer right there is one you certainly don't want to miss. One of those hitters counts.
He missed that one, and he's 1-2 now in the count. Last 6 games, the Rangers' pen has performed better with a .360 ERA. Marisnick takes it, and it's 2-2. Collison pitched a couple of scoreless innings here against the Astros May 13th. came up with the Dodgers in 2012. White Sox nothing, Mariners nothing. Bottom of the first in Seattle. Struck him out. Out number one. Marwin Gonzalez next. He was hit by a pitch and he struck out.
Again, just the fastball. And that one slipped over the bat of Jake Marisnick 3 times in that one at bat.
Tollefson gets set now for his first pitch to Gonzalez. Gregorio Petit is on deck. He replaced Jose Altuve. They're left with a neck injury. Astros have hit 12 homers against Ranger pitching. This is the 10th game. Strike to Marwin. Hisashi Iwakuma is starting for Seattle tonight. Seattle is currently 10 games behind Oakland with a 60-54 record. In that American League wild card race, Seattle is in 4th place, but just a half game behind the second wild card spot, tied with the Yankees. Line shot goes foul. 0-2, so the Mariners are squarely in the thick of things this season. Fireworks coming up after the game tonight on a big and bright Friday night. Tomorrow night a 6:10 start, as is the custom on Saturday, other than the 3:10 starts we had earlier this year. Scott Feldman and Yu Darvish tomorrow night at 6:10. Dallas Keuchel and Nick Martinez Sunday at 1:10. Marwin strikes out. 2 outs now. It's Petit. So we look ahead, and Darvish having an excellent season as a 2.82 ERA. Feldman is back on track again. He's down to 4.13 on his ERA. Martinez and Keuchel on Sunday.
And Dallas Keuchel has refound the groove.
Sure has, with 10 wins and a 2.89 ERA.
No longer in a rut. He is in a groove.
Now Mike Maddox talking it over with Sean Tollefson. Elvis Andrus offers a word and returns to shortstop. Gregorio Petit will bat. First time up in the game for Petit. In 22 at-bats with the Astros, he has 7 hits for a .318 average, including 1 homer, 2 runs batted in. Petit got a chance to play a little shortstop when Marwin Gonzalez missed some games with his hamstring injury and acquitted himself well. He takes ball 1. He was previously in the big leagues with the Oakland A's in 08 and 09, then had a 5-year wait before he could get back. In one of those seasons, he missed the entire year with a knee injury. The Astros signed him during the offseason to a minor league contract, and he was at AAA Oklahoma City. He looks at that one and draws a 2-0 count now. He's known for having excellent hands. He got a start at shortstop Wednesday and went 2 for 4 in Philadelphia. Looking to come through in his first at bat of this game in the 6th inning. Jason Castro's on deck. Fly ball into shallow right center field. Martin goes for it. Chu is there. Chu with the catch. In the 6th inning, it is no runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, and Orbit still trying to recover. Orbit is emotionally reeling tonight, but still a very good game. He'll get his spirits back together. 2-1 Texas.
you to the progressive fan of the game. I am with Austin from Alaska. That's right. He's from Alaska, but he's all decked out in Houston gear, visiting family from Houston. My first question, what is Alaska like, Austin?
In the winters, it is very cold, but in the summers, it gets up to around 70.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. So you're saying it's really hot here in Houston right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, there's a rumor out that Brent Strom went to Alaska. Brent Strom, the Astros pitching coach, went to Alaska and did a clinic for you guys. Do you remember what you learned from Stromy this offseason?
Yeah, the biggest thing was to show your armpit when you pitch, and to get your arm your glove arm up while you pitch to bring it back down.
There you go. Well, remember that. Stromy's a good pitching coach. Brownie, we had some excitement over here by where we were sitting, but we'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Julia. That's a good tip for the youngsters. 24,256 the paid attendance tonight. That was caught as Soto hit it out to Marisnik for out number 1 behind Oberholzer, who again has worked 6 innings and more than that now. That's 10 starts in a row for Brett with at least 6 innings. Good consistent stretch. Roman Mendez is warming up for the Texas Rangers in their bullpen. Here's Odor, and he hits one foul outside the left field line. Into the seats.
Show your armpit when you pitch, huh?
What do you think of that?
Well, I think I know what's going on. We're talking about trying to get that glove. It's probably the glove side. Get that glove up, and then you go to tucking, trying to pull the glove down. And I imagine that's what that's all about. But yeah, it doesn't sound like a glamorous position.
No.
When stated like that.
Well, how should we state it better than that?
Well, I don't know that I have an answer for you there. Get the glove high. But yeah, I imagine Stromy thought, okay, so if we say show your armpit, it's going to be a great way for the kids to remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, simplifying is a good way to teach.
Yeah.
And he is really good at teaching.
He is good.
Well, Houstonian Chris Young, the outfielder with the Mets, has been designated for assignment tonight.
Based on last year, if he could play his games against Houston, and especially right here in Houston, got a chance of being an MVP.
He's been an Astro killer, you're right. Odor looks at it. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Interesting outfield alignment on Odor. Left fielder Krause not too far off the line. Marisnik way over into left center. Huge gap in right center.
And yet I remember a second tank bomb hit to right field by Odor early in the year.
Bounces this one foul. Oh yeah. He hit one off Brad Peacock here May 12th. That must have been the one.
It was a launch job. It looked like he was one of those people selling a product on TV where you put the product right up by your face.
Mm-hmm. Three and 2. Odor signed in Venezuela the same day Jurickson Profar signed. Rougned Odor, his uncle was Rubles. He played some pro ball. He draws a 1-out walk. That is the first walk of the game for Oberholzer. Odor has 2 stolen bases in 6 tries. He's aboard for Daniel Robertson. Robertson takes a look over at his third base coach, Gary Pettis. Castro out. Bullpen busy with Jose Veras for Houston.
That looked like standard stall tactic stuff going on.
deck, Shin-Soo Choo.
Hope he can solve that with a ground ball for a double play.
That's strike one to Daniel Robertson, who's done quite well with the Rangers. Boy, do they have a list of injuries. Historic proportions for this Ranger club. Alex Rios is out right now, and he's been the mainstay in right field for them. That just cropped up today. He's been an everyday player.
Have you looked at the web page, the Texas Rangers home web page, and when you go to their what depth chart, I guess it is, it is filled with players who are on the DL or unavailable. Never seen a list like this before.
Okay. Runner going. Swing and a miss. Castro with a throw. And, safe. Petit thought he got him. Thought he slapped a quick tag on Odor sliding by. But Dana DeMuth made the safe call at second.
That was a nice job by Petit to just slap that tag down. And if he made contact, it's going to be close. Don't know what the Astros will see on this play, but yeah, he's out.
Well, Bo Porter's coming out now.
He is out. And Petit knew that when he slapped that tag down that he had a good chance of having gotten his man.
Just from his reaction, that was a message to Bo Porter.
The difference in that slap versus the reach by the infield.
And it is a manager's challenge. Earlier in the game, Ron Washington had a challenge when Marwin Gonzalez was ruled to have been hit by a pitch in the second inning, and he lost that challenge. Good tag.
It's a really fine job with the tag. The throw sailed a bit on the first base side, but when you get that slick-footed infielder there that can move around, slide around the runner, and then slap the tag down, get yourself an out, and I think the Astros are going to get one.
Well, the fans are cheering as they have seen the big replay, El Grande, on that big vision out there in right center field, and they have seen the tag before his foot gets to the base. So they seem to be fairly confident this will be overruled and called an out.
This is definitive in my mind. There's just no question here, and if somehow the umpires don't change this one, then an unusual night going. And it shouldn't be taking this long. This should have been very easy to make the determination.
What if they're looking to see that the glove is bent out of shape by the tag? It does appear that he tagged him before the foot was on the base, but it would be nice to see that glove bent a little bit as the tag is applied.
You know, we had over the last week or so, maybe a couple of week period, where decisions were coming back in snappy fashion, and here this evening we've had these calls rather extended. I just don't. We're watching on the big board here at the ballpark. I don't see any reason for question there. And I guess you're right, Brownie. The question would be, did the glove actually hit him? But it was slapped in there so sharply that for me it almost had to hit him.
They have to have clear and convincing evidence to overrule the call. Here it is. Let's watch the glove. So did it actually brush by him, or did it tag him?
Well, if he's eventually called safe at second, and he won't be, so I'll stop right there.
He's out. It's a caught stealing from 2 to 4. That's out number 2.
I bet this has been a highly enlightening year for the umpires. To find out immediately how many times they've been right and how many times they've been wrong.
That's true. The pitch was strike 2. So now it's 0-2 on Robertson. With 2 outs and nobody on, that's a big change in this inning in a 1-run game. Certainly a good time to initiate that manager's challenge by Bo Porter, and it worked. Oberholzer getting close to the century figure in pitches thrown. The Astros have Castro, Carter, and Krause due up in the last of the 7. And that's fouled away.
You know what I've enjoyed on top of just simply baseball wanting to and now getting the calls right is the lack of the tired arguments that in my opinion very tired arguments that have gone on through the years. A lot of times for show.
Yeah.
Glad to get away from those.
That's a clean single on through into right center field by Robertson. Now reconstruct the inning. If that call of safe had held, Odor scores on that ball, and it's 3-1 Texas. Robertson's 1 for 3. Now it's Chu batting. Chu's 1 for 3. The Tigers got 3 in the top of the 9th at Toronto and overtook the Blue Jays to win 5-4. Al Albuquerque got the win, and Casey Janssen, the closer for the Jays, was the loser. Joe Nathan got his 24th save. Strike to Chu. Alex Castellanos hit his 8th homer. Eugenio Suarez his 4th for the Tigers, who go to 63 and 50. Chu takes it in the dirt. Here's a throw to second base, and Marlin with the tag, but not in time. Daniel Robertson goes over on the wild pitch.
A very nice job by Marwin. Not to mention Jason Castro, who is really getting it done. Nice job blocking, reacting. Marwin goes down, and I think the Rangers will succeed with this one.
No challenge.
Yeah, that throw on the other side of the bag, and they've got another man dead to rights.
Pretty close. 1-1 now on Chu. He hits one foul out of play for a 1-ball 2-strike count. Chu last year for Cincinnati hit .285, 21 homers, and he stole 20 bases. Had a .423 on base average, miles from the year he's having this year. Then he signed a 7-year $130 million contract as a free agent to come to Texas. He's 32 now. Up the middle, Marlon Gonzalez positioned right there to get him. No runs, 1 hit. The challenge is very big in the inning, and it keeps it at a 1-run lead for the Rangers, 2-1 in the 7th.
of the 7th, and time to show you our Mako big hit of the game. We'll go back to the 5th. Chris Carter launching his 25th home run on the season. This, of course, cut the Rangers' lead by 2-1 there. Carter been feeling really good here lately, especially since the beginning of July, and we got a chance to catch up with him before the game. Just ask him how he's feeling at the plate. He's definitely feeling much better, a lot more confidence. He feels like he's swinging at better pitches now than he was before earlier, and looking for pitches more up in the zone is something he also mentioned. But instead of fouling pitches off, he's also just with that shortened swing that the guys have been talking about all game. That's definitely helped him out. Browning.
Thanks, Julia. He's averaging 1 homer every 14.3 at bats. That's 3rd best in the American League. Got a lot of great at bats, and he will be batting 2nd here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jason Castro to lead it off against Roman Mendez. In 12 games, he has an ERA of 1.80. He's getting a serious look for possible late inning relief work for the Rangers next year, right?
And they need some help. There's no doubt about it. Again, we mentioned that the starting staff has been the huge problem, and they've had injuries and, like you say, 13 guys starting for the ball club this year. But they need some men to stand up and get the job done in the back end of the bullpen. You can see the numbers against in terms of batting average. Would say that Mendez has been very tough.
He is 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Made his major league debut against the Astros at Texas July 8th with 2 hitless innings. He was at Double-A Frisco last year. Jason Castro's the batter. Almost hit him with that up and in pitch at 94. There's a live arm. Mendez has allowed 3 runs in 4 innings in his last 4 games. He started his major league career. We mentioned he made his debut against the Astros a month ago. Well, he had 8 straight scoreless appearances, covering 11 innings at the start of his career, tying the club record set by Alexi Ogando.
He's from the shortstop factory.
Yeah, San Pedro.
Yep. That's where all the shortstops were coming out of for a long while. They've had some good arms as pitchers come out of there as well.
1-1 for Mendez, who was signed by Boston in 2008, and Texas got him in a trade in July of 2010. He missed most of last year with elbow problems. 1-2. Had a stress fracture in his right elbow, and that was his 2nd surgery for that injury. He gave up his first major league homer on Wednesday against the White Sox, Diane Biciedo in Chicago. Strike 3 call. 1 out for Mendez.
He's run that fastball up to 96 already. Well, you go to San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic, and there is a list, and I mean a sizable list, of Major League ball players, and that's just a tiny town.
Oh, yeah. Many fine shortstops from there. Chris Carter homered in the 5th. He struck out the first 2 times up. Mendez delivers ball 1. Mendez with 9 walks in 15 innings and 8 strikeouts. Has had kind of a wild ride, but the arm is there. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Roman Mendez. Sean Tolleson in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, no runs, had no walks, and struck out 2. Miles Michaelis, the starter, went 5, gave up 1 run. Each club has 6 hits. The Astros have the only error in the game. Foul back, 1-2. A crisp fastball in the mid-90s.
89 kids have made it to the major leagues from that tiny town, San Pedro de Macorís. Great deal of poverty. It's quite a story.
89.
89 of them. You look overall at the Dominican, it's just phenomenal, the players they've produced. But out of San Pedro, quite amazing.
Tiny town, too. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The Dominican Republic has produced 607 major leaguers.
A lot of those kids grow up with that out equipment, and they'll get a milk carton and shape it into a glove to use in the field. So the players who are born in the Dominican quite often take equipment to that country during the winter so the kids can use it. That's a strikeout looking. 2 in a row for Mendez.
Great guests, hot topics, and no holds barred debate. Kevin Eschenfelder serves it up fresh every single weeknight on Sports Talk Live at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Monday's guests are Damon Jones, John Lopez, and Robert Ford. Robert Ford.
Oh, he's on Monday?
He's 2-timing us.
How's he going to be on that show? Oh, maybe from the ballpark here.
Maybe so.
Yeah. That's what he'll do. He'll go down on the field and get on camera. Mark Krause doubled. That was the fly ball that wasn't caught by either Chu or Odor. He is 1 for 3. Popped up behind the plate. And back out of play. Strike 1 to Mark Krause with John Singleton on deck. Big series in Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals. The Braves lead 7-5 in the top of the 7th inning. Washington leads Atlanta by 4.5 games. The Braves have lost 8 in a row now. They're down to 2 games over 500. Steven Strasburg, though, had a bad start. 5 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs.
Those back-to-back #1, Strasburg and Harper. Things have changed.
Harper hit a game-winning homer yesterday for Washington. You see the Nationals 62 and 51. A couple of days after his manager lashed out at a reporter for a question about demoting him to the minor leagues.
Not pleased whatsoever. Matt Williams.
Popped up. Soto over into foul territory for it. And that's a 1-2-3-7 for Mendez. 2-1 Texas after 7.
Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite right here at Minute Maid Park. We'll create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS to reserve your luxury suite today.
Pitching change for Bo Porter now. Jose Veras comes out of the bullpen. Brett Oberholzer worked 7, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs. Veras is 1-1. His ERA 5.74 with the Cubs and Astros.
Left-hand hitters have struggled against him. Just the 212 mark. Pretty good job in terms of only the 3 home runs against him in 26 and 2/3 innings. 18 walks. That's the area that for Jose Veras you're always looking at. Can he command himself and stay away from the walks?
His numbers with the Astros are better than those overall numbers you see there on the screen. In a Houston uniform, he is 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA in 15 games. Dexter Fowler's out of the game now for Oklahoma City, 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight, DHing for the Red Hawks. Elvis Andrus is 2 for 3 with a triple against Veras in his career. He leads it off in the 8th. He's 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. There is ball 1 from Veras. Oberholzer with 1 walk, 4 strikeouts tonight through 101 pitches. And another quality start. That is 5 in a row for him. 10 straight starts of at least 6 innings for Obi. Marisnik in center. 1 out here in the 8th as Andrus is retired. Veras 33 years old, back with the Astros after being their closer for the first half of the season last year, and then he was traded to Detroit. JP Arancibia has provided both of the Rangers runs. He hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Veras pitched in the 15-inning game in Philadelphia. That was Tuesday night. 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs. He came in with the score tied 1-1 in the 10th and a man on. A pretty good looking pitch. Ball 1. Adrian Beltre's on deck. That's a beauty. 1-1. Got that for a changeup.
Well, he had Arancibia just completely fooled. Well, that pitch will work.
I'd like to see more of that.
Yes, sir.
Foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tries to then come with the fastball down around the knees, but Arancibia was getting the head out in a big way.
Yes, he was. Well, the Astros bullpen was worked hard in that 15-inning game. Keuchel went 7 though as a starter. Swing and a miss by Arancibia and a strikeout for Veras.
That was a pretty filthy sequence. Now you should be able to lay off this pitch, but when you move just a little bit early with that front side, there's no chance. And really that comes back to the Chris Carter thing. Can you lay off the pitches? Yeah, if you land right, and Arancibia just gets it started a bit early.
Astros and Rangers 2-1 Texas on a 2-run first inning homer by Arancibia. The Astros got a solo shot from Carter in the 5th, and we're 2-1 in the 8th with 2 outs, nobody on. Beltre the batter. Beltre's 1 for 3. And he fouls it back. But back to that Arancibia at bat you referred to. Veras threw him 3 different pitches.
Yes, he did. He used the fastball, but he had the changeup that was extremely effective. And then that slider is the put away pitch.
How's a guy supposed to get a hit against that stuff?
You know, if only folks could go to home plate and get to see what that looks like. Number one, the fastball doesn't look at all like it looks on TV. But then you mix in the other pitches and you'll really ask that question. Which is why it gets so technical about guys trying to land in the right position so you can then react, and you've got to be so strong and toughest thing to do.
Beltre's 2 for 6 against Ferris. Cute little girl.
She doesn't see it that way. It was easy getting that ball.
That's a priceless photo.
Yes.
It's 1-2. The Astros have just had a fit winning 1-run games this year. They're 12-21. They'll have Singleton, Dominguez, and Grossman due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Fouled away. Astros relievers 12-18 with a 5.04 earned run average. 21 blown saves and 40 home runs allowed. Risnick's over in right center field. Breaking pitch, and that's hit foul. Beltre frequently does that. It drops down on his right knee when he swings.
It's the Reggie Jackson swing. Drop to that back knee. This guy has fun playing the game. Tell you what, there's a lot to be said for this. He knows he plays it well.
Just an outstanding player.
I'll take him on my team any day.
Would you take him on your Hall of Fame team?
He's getting there. And I think he belongs there when it's all said and done.
Oh, beautiful pitch. That's some stuff from Veras here in the 8th inning. 1-2-3. Now the Astros come up trailing 2-1.
Okay. His 25th home run nearly nailed me. Seriously, the ball hit up there, ricocheted, and landed right behind my head. It's just a little demonstration of how hot he's been. So, our Twitter question, we asked, how do you think Chris Carter's carried the Astros in the last month or so? Zach Couch12 tweeted, after Springer got hurt, Carter had to step up, and he did. He has proved himself from a shaky player to an improved player. JD White Mamba tweeted, Chris Carter has been on fire. With Springer and Fowler out, the Astros needed someone to step up, and Carter has risen to the occasion. Thank you very much for tweeting me at HoChenCSN. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Howard. We have changes for the Texas Rangers. The new right fielder is Jim Adduci. He takes over for Chu in right field. And we have a new pitcher as well, Neil Kotz. He is a longtime Astros nemesis, 33 years old. A lefty with 53 games already under his belt this season. A 2-5 record, a 3.26 ERA.
A guy who has surprisingly had more struggles against left-hand hitters this year than against right. 5 blown saves on the year.
That's actually tops in the American League, and he faces John Singleton. Singleton is 0 for 3. Hits that first one in the air, foul. And there's strike one for Neil Kotz after a 1-2-3 7th by Mendez, who struck out 2. Kotz going back to his World Series performance with the White Sox against the Astros in 05, continuing to get those Astros hitters out. Singleton, though, has performed well against lefties. That's in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Kotz has pitched 4 times this year against the Astros with an ERA of 0. That's for 3 2/3 innings. His career record 2-1 with 1 save, a 1.88 ERA against the Astros. Foul back. And then when he got into crunch time in the 05 World Series, in game 1 of that series, he came in with a 4-3 lead in the late innings. Struck out Morgan Ensberg and Mike Lamb. In game 2, he was the winning pitcher. Again, he retired Mike Lamb. In game 4, he got a hold with a man on third. He retired Jose Vizcaíno. Bouncer up the middle. That trickles on through into right center field. And Singleton on the 0-2 pitch gets on with a leadoff single.
Tough at bat right there, but Singleton doing what other left-hand hitters have apparently been able to do this year. After a couple of fastballs were blown by, breaking ball handled by the lefty.
That's a start for the Astros. They've left 9 men on base. That's their 7th hit. Matt Dominguez is 1 for 3. He singled in the 6th inning. And then strike one. Kotz gets a lot of 8th inning work. And it doesn't matter whether it's left-handed hitters or right-handed hitters. He is the man in the 8th inning quite often. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Kotz was a 2nd-round pick by Oakland in 01. Had 2 blown saves in the 8th inning in the first week of the season by left-handed hitters. James Loney and Big Papi Ortiz. He has the cut fastball and a slider, so he can get in on a right-handed batter. That's back over the screen. Still 0-2 to Matty D.
Clearly the Rangers were looking for that slider to be up. That's not a pitch you'll generally create the ground ball with, and with Matt Dominguez and the lack of speed at the plate, you would think the Rangers would be looking for that ground ball for the double play.
Last time the Astros handed Neil Kotz a loss, and the only time was here back in the 09 season in a 10-inning game. It's 1-2. Grossman on deck. Kotz's name was out there as far as trade rumors go, but the Rangers have talked extension with him as well. Throw it to first base. He's worked 3 2/3 scoreless innings his last 3 times to the mound. This one gets by. Singleton to second base on a wild pitch. Soto unable to block it. Well, that could be very big because the double play is not in order now in a one-run game.
Soto didn't try to block it. He just reached down with his glove. He wanted to pick it out of the dirt nice and easy. You call a slider and don't drop it over. You've made a big mistake as a catcher.
Now a 2-ball 2-strike count.
He should be angry at himself.
That could be very costly. Foul tip strikeout, 1 out. That was the third wild pitch of the year by Neil Cox. Now he'll face Grossman. Robbie with a walk, a pop fly double, and a single to right field. Batting left all 3 of those times. And now he'll turn around for a right-handed at bat from this side of the plate. Robbie's a 160 hitter with 8 hits and 50 at bats. Texas 1 for 4. Houston 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That's a shot to left field, and the Astros get a long drive from Grossman, and they have the lead, 3-2. 2-run homer by Grossman. Third straight hit of the game for Robbie. Home run number 5 for the product of Cy-Fair High School in Houston. That gives him 23 runs batted in this year, and the Astros lead it by 1.
This is the guy that went into spring training this year with a pretty sound walk on an outfield position. It didn't start this way on the season for Robbie, but boy, what a great time to unload. That right-handed stroke again last year was dynamite. He has struggled finding it this year. No struggles here.
Robbie Grossman makes it a Houston lead of 3-2 with 1 out. And now Marisnick pulls 1 foul. There's strike 1. Walk, double, single, 2-run homer tonight for Robbie Grossman, batting 7th. That's his 3rd home run against the Rangers of his 5. He is now 10 for 22 against Texas pitching. 0-2.
There's that same waggle from each side of the plate. And there was no doubt about this shot. That's legit from Robbie Grossman. And everybody knows it.
Robbie's had a 4-hit game this year. Now a 3-hit game. This one by Cox. Trickles out to Odor. He can't pick it up. And Marisnick is aboard. Cox fell off toward the third base side. He couldn't get back. On the little jam shot looping line drive, Marisnick has his 2nd hit.
Well placed tactically. I'm going to guess this wasn't planned. Well, you talk and talk and talk about getting the barrel onto the baseball. There was no barrel involved.
That's 9 hits for the Astros now. Marisnick is aboard for the 3rd time. And with 1 out, it's Marwin Gonzalez batting. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. Line shot goes foul. He's happy it did.
His friends appear to be happy that he came along for the ride. Thanks, man. I thought I was dead.
Nate Adcock is warming up in the Texas bullpen, a right-hander. The Astros now will get their closer ready, Chad Qualls. Marisnick takes off. There's a ground to shortstop. Elvis Andrews throwing to first base. 2 outs. Marisnick into second base. He had a nice jump.
He can run. And athletically, he looks like the real deal. That hitting side is going to be the issue that needs to be solved at this point. But picking up his hits.
Well, Porter was asked what his outfield alignment would be when Dexter Fowler returns and George Springer returns. He said it's Springer in right, Fowler in center, Marisnick in left. Gregorio Petit came off the bench tonight with Jose Altuve leaving the game with neck discomfort. Petit hit a fly ball to right in the 6th inning. That's strike 1 to him.
Well, that outfield alignment you just mentioned should make the pitchers better. That's a go-getter bunch.
There won't be many balls dropping for hits with that threesome. Bounce foul over Pat Listach's head. It's no balls, 2 strikes. The Royals beat the Giants in Kansas City 4-2. Jason Frazier won that one over Madison Bumgarner. Greg Holland got his 33rd save. Foul balls all around tonight. 3-9-1 for Houston with 9 men stranded. 2-6-0 for the Rangers with 5 men left. Foul ball keeps it at 0-2. In the Ranger 9th, Rosales, Martin, and Soto are due to bat. Singleton started it on an 0-2 count with that ground ball hit to right center field. Dominguez struck out. Grossman hit a 2-run homer. Marisnick an infield hit. The Astros 3rd in the American League in home runs with 128 now. Marisnick goes to 3rd, but it's foul. Atlanta had a big lead of 7-0 over Washington. Now it's 7-6 Atlanta, bottom of the 8th. 1-2. The Astros had a rough trip home last night after blowing that 5-1 lead, losing 6-5 on a 5-run Philadelphia 8th inning. Now Bo Porter with his club in the 8th, grabbing the lead, trying to turn the tables. Foul straight back. The Astros have lost 7 games this year when they've led after 7. The most difficult way to come home from a road trip, being swept and losing 1 game in 15 innings. Then the finale with that big grand slam from Ryan Howard in the 8th inning last night, and getting off the deck to take the lead in the 8th inning tonight. Bobby Grossman, what a night. On base all 4 times. Line shot, left field corner. Marisnick will score to make it 4-2. Petit heads for second. Here's the throw. He's in with an RBI double. Third run batted in for Petit.
I knew the Astros would get something big out of that top spot in the order tonight.
Yeah. Jose Altuve left with an injury 0 for 3. Here's Petit.
Nice quick bat. Gregorio Petit has done a nice job when called upon to play. Anything that he's done, quality work.
He's in with the 4th hit of the inning, and that prompts a pitching change. On Washington out to the mound. First double since May 3rd, 2009 for Petit. It's his 8th hit and 24 at bats with the Astros, filling in quite capably. No pitching change. Wash just talking it over as Castro comes up next. Wash has had a right-hander warming up. The Astros contend with an old nemesis tomorrow night as the battle for the boot continues against the Rangers. Pre-game live starts at 5:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Gregorio Petit at second. The Astros now in double figures with 10 hits tonight. With 2 outs, it's Jason Castro batting. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Foul back. There's strike one. Brewers pummeled the Dodgers 9-3 in Milwaukee. Red Sox are leading in Anaheim over the Angels 3-2 there in the top of the 4th. Chris Carter's on deck. 0-2 to Castro. Neil Cox from Lebanon, Illinois, went to Illinois State, had Tommy John surgery in 2009. Missed the next 2 years as well. Gets a strikeout on Castro, but the Astros go to work on him. They grab the lead with a Robbie Grossman 2-run homer to make it 3-2. Then Petit with an RBI double, 4-2. Houston heading to the ninth. By When the Game Stands Tall in theaters August 22nd. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. The Astros lead at 4-2. They have trailed since the outset of this game, but now here in the bottom of the 8th inning, coming up with 3. They insert L.J. Hose into left field for Mark Krause, who was 1 for 4. And they bring in the closer. Chad Qualls will be pitcher number 3. Jose Veras could be the winning pitcher. He had a 1-2-3-8 with a couple of strikeouts.
Chad Qualls' number's still good. 3.23 the ERA. His 1-3 means nothing for a closer. 12 saves. That's what they're always looking at. Lock it down, bring it home for the club.
Takes over with a 2-run lead. And Adam Rosales is first up. Rosales 1 for 3 tonight. The Astros trying to make it 6 consecutive wins over the Rangers. Coming off an 0-3 road trip. Trying to get this homestand started on a winning note. They finished the last one on a good note. That's strike 1 for Qualls. Chad worked in last night's game 1/3 of an inning. The Astros had already lost the lead, and he came in to pitch to one batter, throwing 2 pitches. Line shot into the left field corner. Rosales heads for second base. That's a leadoff double. His second as a Ranger. Takes the big turn, and it comes back in from L.J. Hose.
Qualls leaves the breaking ball up and in, and Adam Rosales has an appropriate response. Nice quick bat.
The Rangers set it up with the potential tying run at home plate with Leonis Martin. He's 1 for 3. Mike Carp comes out to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Soto. Dominguez on the grass at third. Singleton shortened up at first. Strike one for Qualls. Qualls has not had a lot of work here in August. He got save number 12 here August 1st against Toronto. And then the only other August appearance was last night, just 2 pitches. He had losses in back-to-back appearances here against Oakland July 29th and against Toronto July 31st. Foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Rangers have won 7 times in their final at bat. They have really had the Astros number here at Minute Maid Park, going 31-18. Qualls pitched well in the series at Texas in July. Back-to-back scoreless innings, closing out 8-3 and 8-4. Houston wins in that series. It's not going to be in play for Matt Dominguez. Still 0-2. Hard to believe the Rangers better on the road than at home. That's one thing, but there are 13 teams this year in the majors with better road records than home records.
That's hard to figure.
It really is.
I've never understood a great advantage playing at home in baseball, but usually year after year the vast number of teams will be better at home.
Fly ball right field, deep to right field, at the wall. Robbie Grossman makes the catch. Here's the tag at second. Rosales goes to third, and that threw a scare into that Astros bench on a long out number 1. Robbie saved a potential game-tying 2-run homer on the last homestand, and this one took on similar overtones when he hurried back to the base of the wall.
Along with the fans, let me take a second to get my breath back. Oh, yeah, that's one of those nice moments you want to see.
That's one long out. Rosales at third, and now Brent Strom may have seen something with the delivery of Chad Qualls. He went out. We go to Julia Morales.
Hey guys, as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo. I want to show you that real quick. Tonight it's H-Town Ball at Colt 45. Tweeting out this cute pic, getting a snack. Remember to tweet your photo to hashtag CSNH fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
Thanks, Julia. Here's Mike Carp, picked up by Texas on a waiver claim from Boston August 3rd. Pinch hitting here for Soto, taking ball 1. He is 2 for 15 this season as a pinch hitter. Carp had 90 at bats and has just 4 with Texas. It's 2-0 to Mike Carp.
No doubt Chad Qualls and Jason Castro wanted that pitch.
Carp's 28 years old, from Long Beach, California, formerly with Seattle. He slices a liner into left field. That's in for a hit. That'll make it 4-3. A pinch RBI single by Carp.
Well, this was not a bad looking pitch. Fastball down under the knees, and the fastball of Qualls generally will get you a lot of ground balls. Might have been there at the bottom of the knees, but that's pretty hitting by Carp.
The Rangers come right back. They have 8 hits now, with 2 here in the 9th inning. And they send up Odor. Odor is 0 for 2 with a walk. Robertson is on deck. Around the bunt he takes, and it's ball one. Nope, a strike one. The appeal went down to Tony Randazzo, who ruled that he made an attempt to bunt that ball.
Well, that's a bunt for a base hit effort right there. I don't know that I buy into that.
Dominguez on the grass at third. Foul ball makes it 0-2. Qualls is the king of the double play ball. He has more double plays in his career than any other reliever currently active. Odor runs well, and he has grounded into 4 double plays and just over 230 at bats. The Astros hit into 4 double plays last night in their loss at Philly. Started the bat, and this time on appeal it goes Odor's way. 1-2.
So much movement in that sinker of Qualls. He'll get bats to start.
Odor takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Qualls a part of the bullpen makeover by General Manager Jeff Luhnow over the winter. And he's performed capably. Tony Sipp has come in and provided a nice lift in the late innings. Others have been injured and have been unable to contribute. There's a shot through the left side. A single to left makes it. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And now it's Robertson.
Qualls gets the ground ball he was likely looking for. Tough pitch down and away. Last 2 hitters have just sliced and carved away on some pitches from Chad.
He's a ground ball pitcher, and so far this has been one of those nights. And those ground balls have found some holes. Rosales attacked with a line drive to open the inning. Now it's Josh Fields and Tony Sipp getting loose. Josh just stretching on the ground as Sipp is doing the throwing. Ducey is on deck. And he's a left-handed hitter, so perhaps that's why Sipp is getting ready. It's ball 1. Robertson single to right center in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3. Qualls is having a good strikeout year, though, with 37 and 39 innings coming into this one tonight. Not simply a ground ball pitcher. It's 2-0.
He's on the backside of his career, but he still throws hard and gets great action again on that sinker.
Ducey looking in. He took over in right field for Chu. That's in for a strike. 2-1 to Robertson. Robertson started against the lefty Brett Oberholzer, who's been very effective against left-handed pitching. Hitting .234 against right-handed pitching with 11 hits and 47 at bats and a .234 slugging percentage as well. Ground ball second. Down on the knee. There's the flip from Petit, and Marlon Gonzalez with a game-ending double play. That was lightning from Petit to Gonzalez to Singleton. And Qualls got the ground ball. It at one of its infielders this time to wrap it up as the Astros win by 1.
And watch how it gets started here. That little backhanded flip very quickly. And that was all needed because getting down the line very well was Robertson. Oh, what a gorgeous sight when you need it.
Beautiful flip by Petit to Gonzalez. And Qualls got the game-ending double play ball. Final score, Astros 4, Rangers 3.